night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero. There's an African legend that says, in a race between a lion and a deer, many times the deer wins. Because the lion runs for food, but the deer runs for life. The moral of the story is this: purpose is more powerful than need. When your why is as strong as your need to breathe, nothing can outrun your will.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so wild, of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground, when you say
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
Now let me see you drop it to the floor, drop it to the floor then. Now lean.
Gravy make a splash like Pippin. Shit, that's nothing. Splash. Everybody call me Big Pimpin'. No, I ain't bluffing. I'm with your mom in the kitchen, making blueberry muffins.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Chicken banana, chicken banana, chicken banana, banana, banana.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Buddha says you gotta let that shit go. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you from the backside of the moon. The Earth is still not a globe. It is stationary. And we are run by vampiric pedophiles. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Vampiric pedophiles run the world and control the decisions that could mean life or death to you. So keep that in mind, everybody. Just keep that in mind. Got all kinds of crazy shit going on here today that we decided to just kind of have a good time. It's Sunday. Why the hell not? Let's just let our hair down and do some shit. Who we got out here tonight? We got Brad and Tasha, one or both, either one. We're glad to have them in a singular or duplex manner. We like that. Oh, you know, there's another thing too. These fucking people come up with this Cavendish experiment thing, right? And I'm like, well, how is that an experiment? And they said, well, see, that shows mass attracting mass. No, it doesn't show anything attracting anything. All you have shown is movement. You have yet to actually determine why that movement takes place. There has to be a transfer of energy somewhere, and they can never do it. It was a fundamental force of nature. Oh, shut the fuck up. The fundamental force of nature. Shut up. Jesus Christ. Some of these people. Let me see. Uh-oh, somebody got his gold Trump phone. There's a guy. I have to, oops. God damn it. That happens every time because I don't take precautions. There we go. You got his gold Trump phone. What a fucking scam that was, man. People fell right for that.
I'm tired of hearing about the fake news. Trump gold phone, baby. I got mine today. This is unboxing. I'm so excited.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was going to pull out some little fucking toy phone or some shit. That was beautiful. That was beautifully done. Let me get over to my thing here. Things that I found interesting today. Oh, this was pretty cool. John Kerry was, this is a while back, but this is crazy. I guess it's Thomas Massey. This is back. You don't hardly recognize him without the beard, but he's questioning him about his fucking degrees. And I thought this was fucking hilarious.
Isn't it true you have a science degree from Yale?
Bachelor of Arts degree.
Is it a political science degree?
Yes, political science.
So how do you get a Bachelor of Arts in a science?
Well, it's liberal arts education and degree. It's a bachelor.
Okay, so it's not really science. So I think it's somewhat appropriate that somebody with a pseudoscience degree is here pushing pseudoscience in front of our committee today. Let's get back to the science of it. Let me ask you this. What's the consensus on parts per million of CO2 in the atmosphere?
About 406 today.
Okay, 406. Are you aware
350 being the level that scientists have said is dangerous.
Are you aware that since mammals have walked the planet, the average has been over 1,000 parts per million?
Yeah, but we weren't walking the planet. Let me just share with you that we now know that definitively at no point during at least the past 800,000 years has atmospheric CO2 been as high as it is today.
The reason you chose 800,000 years ago is because for 200 million years before that, it was greater than it is today. And I'm going to submit for the record.
Yeah, but there weren't human beings. I mean, there was a different world, folks. We didn't have 7 billion people.
So how did it get to 2,000 parts per million if we humans weren't here?
Because there were all kinds of geologic events happening on Earth which spewed up.
Did geology stop when we got on the planet?
Mr. Chairman, this is just not a serious conversation.
Your testimony is not serious.
You see, when you start getting them down, they just make up some fucking shit, and you start pinning them down on it, man, they can't last. They can't last ever. They never can. I was running into that today with these people. I says, oh, look, at this Cavendish, you haven't proven any attraction. You've only proven movement. Of course, it's going to go to the other thing because you've limited where it can possibly go. So that didn't prove that the one thing drew the other one. It just proved that something moved. Now we have to find out what was the mechanism involved, because we know that things can't move without a force being applied. And you can't just say, well, see, there's that thing I made up. Somebody put up a picture of the solar system, a little drawing of it. It said, prove that this can't happen without gravity. And I was like, prove that the thing that you made up can't happen without the other thing that you made up. That's basically what you're fucking asking. What's wrong with these people in their brains? He has a master's degree in procrastination. I have one as well. I'm going to stop doing that, though, like probably next week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, through the medium. Let's see what else. Fuzzy Booger's here too. Rick Swain. Listen, here you people are fighting with each other. Quit it. Quit it. Behave, you rapscallion people. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. Here's an Israeli historian, Avi Shleim. I guess that's, or Shleim. Maybe that's how you say it. He talks about how Israelis planted bombs in synagogues to kill Jews in Iraq to create mass panic to force them to move to Israel. See, they needed people that were acclimated to the region and were used to working in the region. So that's who they brought in, see, actual ethnics. Because these people are not suited to work. They don't do work. They don't do work. And I have a little clip from a movie that talks about that. Oh, did you know I didn't know this. There's a movie out there called The Apprentice. And it's, I guess, showing Trump's early life and his influence by Ray Cohn. And pretty telling into some of the psychology of this fucking guy. This guy's like, he's amazing. He's amazing. And you start to understand what makes this fucking guy tick.
The Mossad recruited local Jews and turned them against their homeland.
There is a Jewish Israeli author called Avi Shleim. He's an Iraqi Jew.
My family and I, we were Arab Jews. We spoke Arabic at home.
And he wrote 3 books about the plight of the Jewish people in Iraq.
In my research, bombs were planted by Jewish activists in Baghdad.
When they created the State of Israel, they didn't know how to bring all of these Jewish people from the Arab countries.
Exodus of Jews.
Iraq and in Egypt and Morocco lived there for hundreds of years.
Jewish community in Iraq was the most ancient.
So they needed to push them.
The Mossad recruited local Jews and turned them against their homeland.
1950, 1951, Israel sends a Mossad agent. He leads 5 different bomb attacks on Jewish synagogues and Jewish communities.
Jews against Jews.
They killed their own people. Because of that, 150,000 Jews went in just like a year and a half to Israel. The same guy, after Iraq, he went to Egypt, and he led the Lavon Affair in 1954.
The Lavon Affair, as it came to be known, shook Israel to its core and marked a humiliating failure for the state's intelligence services.
And you know what's funny about the Lavon Affair? After the sleeper cell, the espionage cell was discovered, Israel denied any connection to those people, of course, for 51 years. And then in 2005, they finally acknowledged it by giving the participants in the Lavon Affair operation participation certificates, like an Amazon card or something. Like, what?
What's that? Fuzzy Booger says, please show some more Lego videos. Okay, we will then. That's what we'll do. We're going to get in that. What do we got? We got all these people in here. Brian Tucker, the Brian Tucker, not just Brian Tucker. Yeah, chapter bankruptcy. How many times did that fucking guy file bankruptcy? Come on, y'all. Lisa, what's up, girl? I'm getting around a little better today. You know, not dancing by any case, but I'm able to walk short distances without the cane, but it's painful, but I work through the pain. Hopefully, I guess that's going to get it. You guys want to see a Karen freak out in Oswego, Illinois? Okay. Hold on.
Why would you take your fucking hate? Oh yeah, do film me. Go to another community. We don't need your fucking hate.
No.
You're wicked.
No.
It's the truth. Oh, you're speaking God's word?
No, we aren't religious. We are not Christians.
Oh, so you're just assholes.
No, we're just realists.
No, you're wicked.
We live in reality,
You
not
are
delusion.
wicked monster.
You're
No.
delusional.
I hope you feel good
You're
about
mentally
yourself.
ill.
Oh no.
You're delusional.
I'm actually a psychiatric nurse.
Oh wow, that's really sad and scary
Yeah.
for the world.
That's really sad and scary to the world.
Because I would have you committed.
Oh, would you?
Enjoy.
Okay, well, since you're so confident, give me 5150. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do something.
She's calling them crazy, and she's stopped in traffic and holding up the road and shit to stand there and yell at somebody because they're holding a sign and shit. So who's the fucking unhinged one? Really? Because if you were of actual sane mind, you go, oh, there's some people that they don't agree with transgenderism. How about that? And move on. Right? Come on, man.
Something about it. Bye-bye. Yes, we are. We will.
The sign, what did the sign say? The sign said trans women are men.
Ukraine flag. Hey, I want to say something.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
I tell you everything. Got that Ukraine thing and a donkey. There you go.
Yeah, I did too.
They're caught up in the paradigm. There, that's what their sign said. It said trans women are men. Now, why would that make somebody mad? See, because it challenges a belief, not a fact, a belief. This is why globetards get mad at you, because you challenge their belief, not because you challenged any facts. They don't have any facts. They have a belief. And a real heavy duty belief in this fucking gravity thing. That's the dumbest shit thing I have ever heard of. This gravity. Somebody thinking just because something exists, it's going to attract other stuff. That doesn't, nobody's ever seen that happen, man. Quit. And just because you set up a thing that does it, or you assume doesn't mean that it's an attraction. It just means that there's movement. So, go on somewhere with that crazy shit. I thought this was crazy. This is a nutty Karen. This is over across the pond. Across the pond. This woman is all worried because this guy's sitting in his car. He's not driving. He's got his little girl sitting in the passenger seat, just sitting there having a drink or a soda or something. And this woman comes by worried because the kid's not in a car seat. And she's going to tell this guy all about it. I don't know why people just can't mind their own fucking business, but hey, here we are.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm looking to see if your child's in a child seat.
Okay, but why?
Well, because that's the law.
Okay, but we just parked.
But you're in the car.
Yeah, we're in the car, but the car's
And I
parked.
noticed as I was coming past, your little one's not in a car seat.
Well, yeah, but like we're not moving.
But you're in a car, so the law says if a child's in a car, it's got to be in a car seat.
Yeah, if the car is moving. Is the car moving?
No. In the car seat. Health and safety.
Okay, but literally, look, there's a car seat right there.
Right, so why is your child not in the car seat?
Yeah, because we're waiting.
But your child is in a car, should be in a car seat. You've got to look after your child.
Yeah, I'm looking after my child, but the car is not moving right now.
But she's not in her child's car seat. Do you not understand?
Okay, but how is that any of your business?
Because I'm a member of the public.
Okay,
I've
that's
seen a
great for you.
child in the front seat of a car.
That's great for you, love. What do you want? Do you want a certificate?
Well, maybe I should have a certificate for looking after your child, sir.
Okay, yeah, but the child has a baby seat.
So why is your child not in the
because we're waiting and she wants to sit here in the front.
But the car's running and the child.
The car is running,
seat.
but like the car isn't parked.
So do you not worry about your child's safety, sir?
What?
It's a good talk to people like you, who come across, and I've seen this, and I've brought your attention.
Okay,
to
but like I've told you, the car isn't parked right now. We're not moving. There's a child seat in the back.
The law states a child should be in a car.
Okay, and who are you? Are you the law? Are you the law?
Well, sometimes people have to be the law because the police aren't here. I can call the police.
Okay, but for what?
Because your child should be in a car seat.
But we're not moving.
But still, you need to
still
think of
what?
the child's safety.
Yeah, but we're literally just waiting in the car. Yeah, my kid just wanted to just be kind of here.
Well, you've got to say no, sis. Teach
Why?
It's safe to
Since when is it a crime for the child just to sit down once the car is stationary to like sit in the front?
The law says, sir. The law
Show me,
says a child should be in a car seat
when the car is moving. When the car is moving.
Sir,
is the car moving?
I'm just being a concerned member of the public.
Okay, but is the car moving?
The car's running.
The car's not moving.
The child could have an accident. What if the handbrake comes off?
Okay, but there isn't a handbrake, love.
Well, sir, you're just being silly now because I'm just thinking of the safety of your child.
Well, no, I just think you're just being a bit of I don't know. I just think you're trying to just like poke your beacon.
Well, I was walking across, I saw the child out of your car seat, and I'm concerned.
Yeah, but we have a car seat. There's a car seat in the back.
So, sir, why is your child not in the car?
Because we're just waiting.
Okay, but she can wait, in the car seat, yes.
But it's none of your business.
Well, I'm making it my business because I'm concerned about your child, sir.
How does that woman feel that she has anything to do with what that man does at all? See, this is what's wrong. People are crazy. I was thinking about this today, man. For the most part, people are scared, confused, literally fucking crazy. Man, they really are. They really are. They believe the most preposterous things. They're brainwashed into this fucked up idea on how shit's supposed to work. What is going on with this fucking camera? Let me fix that. I can fix that real quick. Ding. There, that's better. Now let's see if I go back, if it fixes it back. Yeah, there it goes. Huh. Stupid shit. Stupid shit. Absolute bullshit. Oh, and we can't go by without this classic. I ran across this one. This is great. Here's what happens when one of those hypersonic missiles gets fired. You ready? No, it's Bezos.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar. What is it, son? I don't know, sir. But it looks like a giant dick.
Yeah.
Take a look out of starboard. Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker! Oh, yeah. Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Private! We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Willie.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, it looks like a giant...
Johnson. Yes, sir.
Get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
That was, I think, one of the best cut takes like that I've ever seen, where they just keep putting that shit, like, totally complete the joke, but innocent. Those are great. That was what, the Austin Powers movie? Yeah. So here's a guy, Sam Parker, explains how the most famous Jewish organization in the U.S. was created to protect a pedophile. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Every time. This is why they can go to Israel and not be extradited no place. See?
Leo Frank basically and murdered an 11-year-old girl named Mary Fagan and left her body for dead. And they tried to frame a black guy for it. But the ADL was formed out of the B'nai B'rith, which is a Jewish secret society, fraternal brotherhood. And they got together and they formed the Anti-Defamation League to defend Leo Frank against these allegations.
They formed an organization to defend a guy who brutally raped and killed, I believe she was 13. It's just disgusting that they tried making this guy.
Well, and they're still protecting him to this day. Tom Alexandrovich in Vegas. You were there this last summer, where this Israeli tech intelligence guy who works for Benjamin Netanyahu was over in Las Vegas for some cybersecurity conference or something, and he was soliciting a 15-year-old for sex, and they caught him, and they let him go, and he escaped back to Israel. Leo Frank basically.
Jesus. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that story, but there's probably a lot of you that have not heard the story about that. Definitely look into Leo Frank and Mary Fagan. It's quite an interesting story with him. Didn't they end up going and pulling him out of prison and hanging his ass or something? I think they did. So this guy does a speed search connection from Zios to child sacrifice, okay? And he does it in record time. Get ready.
Zionism to child sacrifice, Wikipedia speedrun, let's go. To child sacrifice, let's go. We'll start off with Jews here, Jews. Okay, go down to Middle Ages. Yep, first recorded case of blood libel. Okay, here's a child that they sacrificed. Blood libel, boom, baby, 14 seconds. Zionism to child sacrifice. Let's go, new world record. And if you want to learn more about the Jews and their lies, make sure to check out The Jews and Their Lies by Martin Luther at therightbooks.com using code POST at checkout. Martin Luther talks in depth about their supposedly false child sacrifice that totally wasn't real, guys.
I have a long history of that shit, going way back. Saint Hugh is a victim of child sacrifice. He was sainted posthumously. He was the nephew of a clergy who came up missing, and they found him later dead. And he'd been extinguished of all of his blood and had ritualistic stab marks on him that were in the shape of Hebrew letters and things. And they quickly caught the people. And of course, the people out of there were expelled out of whatever country it was. I think it was Italy at the time. What's going on, D-Man? What's that happening? It's not healthy for children and now they're living things. That is true.
It's one of those 1960s buttons. I found a picture of it today looking at a story. And I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. It's like an old school button.
You know what I found? And I found a couple of cool things here recently. A Nixon campaign button.
I'm not a crook.
And I went and my dad's old suit. It was in the closet in a suit bag, and I got it out, and there were some ticket stubs from 1987 in the breast pocket for the 2 tickets for the Fox Theater to see Paul Anka. 4th row.
Paul Anka.
4th row. Oh, my mom was fucking elated with that concert. She was right there, man. 4th row back. I mean, the Fox Theater, that was really a treat. Anyways, the Fox Theater was a beautiful.
My mom had Andy Williams records.
Oh yeah, we had those. We had those. Yeah,
where he would just do nothing but covers from other people. Like, he had a Christmas one. He had a holidays. He would do all the holiday songs.
Always with the fucking cardigan sweater.
Yeah.
I remember those. My mom had all those. But then they started, grooving into the Moody Blues, and I started
changing the 60s.
This is all right. This is all right, man. I like this Moody Blues shit. This is all right. Just some of I'd sit and listen to it all day. Moody Blues. Of course, my mom was a huge Burt Bacharach fan too.
Yeah.
So I shit all the time. I love Burt Bacharach. Just about every song you hear from that era is like every third one is written by him and Hal David. Every time.
Yeah, almost everything you heard from it was popular. What do you call it? Stuff. What's her name? Was one of his big. Was one of the big women that he would bring in to sing his songs. They did Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Yeah.
And I forget who the original
Sunday. The Monkees did that.
Yeah, but it was originally the original one that when they were working out how it, how the progressions went and the timing of it and stuff. It was Joan Baez. And Joan Baez did it first, like for in a studio. And I never knew that. I never knew that like a lot of that stuff was stuff that they didn't write. Neil Diamond, same thing.
Yeah. It's not their music. You find that out with a lot of these artists. They don't write the music; they just perform it.
The same Time Travel said same thing. Dionne Warwick. The majority of Dionne Warwick stuff was all was Hal David and Burt Bacharach.
Yep.
Carole
Dionne
King's
Warwick.
another one.
Yep. And always they collaborated a lot with Herb Alpert.
Yeah, Tijuana Brass.
Yeah, that's why I love a lot of that.
Cubby's a big Herb Alpert fan. Can't tell.
You like Herb Alpert, Cubby?
Love him.
He
doesn't have a clue.
He has no fucking clue.
He's like who?
There was in the 80s, Herb Alpert kind of made a little bit of a comeback. And he put out this album called Rise.
Yeah.
And it had more of a modern dance.
Jazz kind of.
And well, the thing was too, it was made very popular because of on General Hospital. They were playing that song all the time on General Hospital from that album. When the Luke and Laura saga was going on. It was really a big thing in the 80s. I remember that, man. I used to watched it. I watched General Hospital, man. I'd get high with my mom and watch General Hospital in the afternoon.
My mom was more of a Days of Our Lives fan.
Yeah, well, see, that was before I got out of school. See, school cut, or before I, pretended I was coming home from school or what,
Do you remember asking her something while the story was on? I think, shut up! I'm watching my stories.
Oh man, my aunt was really bad with that. I gotta get home. My stories are coming on.
Yeah.
My story, and that's of course there was no video recordings. There was no on demand. If you fucking missed it, that was it. You missed it. You weren't gonna see it. They didn't play reruns of it. So she was like, "Oh, I got to get home. My stories are on."
The only info you had was the TV guide.
Mm-hmm.
Just bust out your TV guide.
The TV guide, yeah, sir. I knew somebody that collected the covers off of those things.
Yeah, Frank Costanza.
Yeah. I mean, I knew somebody in real life who did it. Yeah, that's crazy, collecting shit like that. But I guess like right now, there's people selling that kind of thing on eBay, and there's people paying big money for it, like articles out of fucking old magazines and shit, So I've got a few things around here. I've got a Life magazine with Marilyn Monroe on the cover that's worth quite a bit of money. I got another one that on the cover of it's from the 1967 riots in Detroit. Things in plastic too. I was
gonna say you better put them in something, or they'll, if they're not temperature controlled, they'll start to yellow and go bad over time.
Yeah. I'll sell and get the money for them.
I got old comic books, and I got an old Radio Shack catalog from like 1972.
Oh, wow.
Pretty interesting looking at all the stuff in there for sale and how cheap it is. And you're like, geez, I can get a whole hi-fi for freaking $100.
You're like, how many of these did I throw away?
That's what estate sales are good for.
Oh, yeah. I got some old newspapers in here from back time of World War II. They're in bad shape, man. You got to be really careful with them. But,
those got to be pretty fragile.
Very fragile.
Fragile.
Look, it's Italian. Here's that Schofield Bible everybody likes.
They needed the churches on their side. In the 19th century, before Israel was founded, the Rothschilds worked closely with several people who could promote their agenda. They attracted a man called Cyrus Schofield.
Cyrus.
He was a convicted criminal lawyer, an expert in fraud and forgery. He was asked to create a new Bible, the Schofield Study Bible. This was the first Bible in all of history to contain hundreds of footnotes. In these footnotes, a new doctrine was introduced into the American Evangelical Church, which says that there was to come a new political military Israel, and that would be the place where the Messiah would come to rule the world. And they said that it would be the fulfillment of the promise that Christ would return to earth. This Bible was then spread all throughout America, and it became the foundation for the current-day evangelical theology. Nobody was aware that this Bible was directly funded by Satanists and that it served the agenda to get Christianity on their side for establishing a new Israel that would become the headquarters of their one-world government. The Schofield Study Bible was published by the Oxford University Press, which was owned by the Rothschilds. And this whole theology was first written out by John Darby, whose family owned the most haunted castle in the world, Leap Castle, where 150 dead bodies were found in the cellars and where satanic masses were held. John Darby used all kinds of occult terms in his religious writings. He was involved in many secret societies and occult groups, and he is the one who educated Cyrus Schofield on the matter. The Schofield Study Bible literally said that everyone who supported this new Israel would be blessed by God, and everyone who did not support it would be cursed by God. So, fear and intimidation was used to force Christians to be on their side, and as you can tell, they succeeded. Thus, it is foolish to claim that the modern state of Israel is a friend to Christianity.
Absolutely. What does he say? All of this, by the way, would be completely unnecessary if the Jews wrote the Bible, dude. We're true. They rewrote it out of necessity. No shit. Actually, when you look at it, it's really a small percentage of people in the Bible that are actually Jewish. It's a lot of hokum, a lot of horse shit, and people, there again, scared people, conditioned. This is the worst conditioning that we've ever given people, was to accept blindly information based on perception. We do that, we do that, and we don't use critical thinking. They don't use any rationality. They don't really, they don't use any deductive reasoning, no critical thinking. And they just go along with, well, that's what the pastor said. Well, that's what the teacher said. And they rely, this is what Google says. Yeah, but have you thought about what Google is telling you? No, not one fucking bit. It's like when they want to take that Webster's dictionary thing and say, what does it say? Following the curvature of the liquid portions of Earth's surface. They take that to mean that the Earth's surface of liquid is curved. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all. It says it follows the curvature. Well, it's obviously no curvature there, and that is following it. So it's actually it's a case of word magic. It's sort of like you'll assume that I've killed somebody if I said I've never killed anybody that didn't deserve it. Well, I never said that I killed anybody. I just said who I haven't killed.
Do you think a lot of these like cult leaders and stuff, like, you think that they've passed on this legacy through like spirit, like from, because I think like as the generations go on, especially the younger generations, there's less of a their attention span for one, but there's less of discipline for them to carry on like the way they did in the past. And you know, you got the social media era and stuff like that, so there's less reason to go to like clubs and cults and stuff like that. So it makes me feel like they kind of like pass on through spirit, like some of these older cult leaders, they pass it on to the next generation through spirit, you know, and then they kind of take over from there. I don't know, I mean, just seems kind of weird to me. Like, I don't feel like some of these older traditions, you know, I think like I'm talking about these older cult leaders, you know, they got to be dying off. If you believe in people dying off, they got to be dying off. So you wonder if they're not just passing them through like rituals and stuff, passing their spirit on to the next club
Yeah,
member or
they
whatever.
are. They are, you know, because these people usually have like a successor or a son
Right.
who takes over in their place.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed most often is they don't seem to have the charisma and the power that the successor, that the
Prior
predecessor.
one, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And it kind of fiddles out. So I don't know if they're really able to pass along that spirit. They can pass along the grift,
Right.
but I don't know if they're passing it along. And in some cases, maybe. But I mean, I can't see how this like Kenneth Copeland. I can't see how they're even following this guy. How they can actually even think that he's holy, unless their idea of holy is evil.
Yeah.
And they're probably evil too, you know. You got to understand, people are going to gravitate towards what they resonate with. And if you resonate with that motherfucker, well, I really don't want you around me, you know?
Yeah. I just think it's getting harder for the demonic spirit to pass on to the next vessel or whatever you want to call it. You know, because I just think that, I don't know, we live in a different era where you still got these grifty pastors and stuff, of course, you know, they'll probably never go away, but they're not like the Kenneth Copelands. They're not like them. They're not the eccentric, you know, crazy demonic types that these guys were.
Charismatics.
Yeah,
I think it's a case is this is it. This is the last year of the devil's power. I think this is the last year of the devil's power. They're making every fucking attempt they can to put everything and, you know, get full spectrum dominance as quickly as they can, but they can't because this fucking shit's over. People are waking up to it. They're not down for it.
Yeah.
You don't have as many, your stupid people don't outnumber those of us that have awakened. I'm sorry, it just isn't. You can manipulate whatever polls you want to, or select whatever interviews you want to, but those of us that are out here in reality know what's really going on, and we talk to one another. So it's over. It's over. What comes next? I don't know, man. We're gonna see.
Because you see people like Erica Kirk, who literally has Kenneth Copeland eyes. You know, she's got the demonic spirit, but her delivery ain't good. You know, people are seeing right through that.
Sure, they're able to see through the deception.
Right.
I just saw a thing earlier saying that they found a bunch of remains of kids at that orphanage she was running in Romania. Yeah, man, she's an evil fucking Nazi bitch or something.
Yeah,
man.
she's pretty. You can see the demon in that one. But anyway.
Yeah, man.
Were you gonna say something, D-Man?
Charlie Kirk was blinded by pussy. Is what was going on there.
I was going to ask you, Saab, did you see that thing on TYT when they had that friggin' Bobby-looking old lady with all the plastic surgery talking to one of the guys there? That's one of the old Fox News guys, asking him about how there was a poll where 60% of people in the United States don't support this whole Israel thing, and he literally had a shit fit right on live TV, was comparing people that don't want anything to do with this to Nazis, Republicans.
Oh my God! You know, I didn't see that. If you can find the clip,
I'm going to try to find it because
Yeah.
it was he said some ridiculously stupid shit, and it's like I was yelling at the freaking phone when it was going. I was like, nobody wants to see people get killed because of this stupid stuff for your stupid crap. That's why nobody wants to see it. So
oh my God, my wife, she gets upset. We were watching, there was a video earlier, this woman, there's a guy standing out on a sidewalk in front of a dispensary and he's just filming, right? And this woman, she pulls up to the apron to pull out onto the highway and calls to him to come over to her so she can tell him not to film her. And then she gets mad and gets out of her car, leaving it right there where people try to get out at, comes flying at him, grabbing at him, hitting on him and shit, grabs a hold of his camera and shit, and he lets loose with some fucking pepper spray into her face. She freaks out. They have to take her inside, and then she's there for the longest time pretending like she don't know what happened. The pepper spray gave her amnesia. She goes, "What's wrong? What happened to my face?" And he says, "You got pepper sprayed." "Why did you pepper spray me?" The cop's like, "I didn't pepper spray you." "Well, how did I get pepper sprayed?" "You assaulted that guy out front and he pepper sprayed you." "Well, why would he do that?" "Because you tried to grab his camera." "Why would I do that?" Dude, it's on fucking camera. I mean, this chick, these cops fucked with her and fucked with her and fucked with her. If it hadn't have been some little old lady, buddy, they would have fucking yanked her. There's something wrong with you, man. You're asking all this shit, acting like you don't know where you're at and everything. All you did was get pepper sprayed. Relax. You know? But I mean, it's just like, I can't believe it. These people are out there and they exist. And it's just like everywhere you go. "Oh, I don't want to be filmed." Well, then why did you walk up to a fucking camera? And that one last night, that cracked me up. That girl, she went and hid, went out of the room and hid. And then she's looking through that little hidey hole in there. And the police show up and she goes, "He's recording." And he says, "Yes, I'm recording too." And she goes, "Oh, okay." Like, it's okay because you got a fucking special suit on and you can record me, but I don't want nobody else to fucking record
Yeah,
me.
I know. One of the guys, go ahead and play, and I'll talk to you after. I don't want to be rude.
D-Man, you're trying to get the fucking Bible jackers up here. I already know that.
No, I'm not trying. I just wanted to put that in there for reference point. That's all.
Right.
I put that in there for quick
I'm
reference.
just fucking with you, man. You're gonna get, but they'll come up with it.
I know.
If the most powerful empire on earth was built on a Bible verse that Jesus never actually said, right now, billions in American tax dollars flow to a foreign nation, justified by a single theological doctrine. Presidents have moved embassies. Wars have been authorized, all because of a gospel that Jesus never once preached. And the people cheering the loudest, calling this God's will, they call themselves Bible-believing Christians. But what if that Bible, the one millions use every Sunday, was quietly rewritten to make you believe a political lie? This story begins not in Jerusalem, not in Washington, but in 1830, with one man's dangerous new idea. His name was John Nelson Darby, an Irish preacher who abandoned the church and rewrote everything it had ever believed. Darby invented a theology called dispensationalism, a new way of reading the Bible no Christian in history had ever taught before. He divided all of history into ages, dispensations, and claimed God had two separate plans, one for Israel, one for the church. Here is the question no one in your church will ask. Where did Jesus teach this? Show me the chapter. Show me the verse. Because Darby's doctrine did not come from careful study. It came from a vision, claimed by a teenage girl named Margaret MacDonald. In 1830, MacDonald claimed a divine vision of Christ's two-stage return. Darby heard it and built a theological empire upon it. No theologian before Darby had ever taught a secret rapture. Not Augustine, not Luther, not Calvin, not one church father. This doctrine was brand new, invented from whole cloth, and yet within 70 years, it would dominate American Christianity completely. How does a fringe 19th century idea become the foundation of the most powerful religious political force in American history? The answer is one man, one corrupted Bible, and one network of wealthy backers whose names history has deliberately buried. Cyrus Ingerson Schofield, convicted fraudster, deadbeat father, abandoned his wife and daughters, and author of America's most influential Bible. In 1882, Schofield was convicted of fraud, He forged checks, abandoned his family, and fled across state lines like a fugitive. Then suddenly, mysteriously, Schofield emerged in New York. Powerful new friends, unlimited funding, and a publishing deal with Oxford University Press. Who funded Cyrus Schofield? Why would elite New York financiers pour money into a disgraced preacher's annotated Bible? What were they buying? In 1909, Oxford University Press, one of the most prestigious publishers in the world, published the Schofield Reference Bible. Millions of copies flooded American seminaries, Bible colleges, and churches, distributed free or deeply discounted by anonymous donors. Moody Bible Institute adopted it. Dallas Theological Seminary built its entire curriculum around it. A doctrine was becoming dogma. Within one generation, every major evangelical seminary in America was teaching Darby's ideas as if they were the very words of Christ. Stop. Have you noticed this? Every time a pastor says Israel in prophecy, he means a modern nation-state. But did Jesus mean that? Paul wrote clearly, "Not all who are descended from Israel are Israel." Romans 9, Galatians 3. It is right there in your Bible. Paul says the true children of Abraham are those who belong to Christ. Not a bloodline, not a land deed, not a modern state. But Schofield's footnotes, printed right beside these verses, instruct you to ignore Paul. They reframe his words to support a political nation. These are not scripture. These are editorial notes. But millions were trained to treat Schofield's opinions as the inspired word of God. And here is where it stops being a theological debate and becomes the most consequential lie in all of modern political history. The Balfour Declaration. Britain promises a Jewish homeland in Palestine, a land already home to 700,000 Arab people. In 1948, the modern state of Israel is declared. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are expelled. The world calls it a war of independence. American evangelicals, soaked in Schofield's framework, didn't see a geopolitical event. They saw Bible prophecy literally unfolding before their eyes. This is the moment the doctrine weaponizes. Supporting Israel stops being politics and becomes obedience to God. Questioning it becomes heresy. Hal Lindsey's The Late Great Planet Earth, built entirely on Schofield's dispensationalism, became the best-selling nonfiction book of the entire 1970s. Over 35 million copies sold. It told Americans that nuclear war in the Middle East was God's plan, and America must be on Israel's side. Ronald Reagan called Armageddon a literal coming event. The moral majority was born. Christian Zionism walked through the White House front door, and out of this theological movement, a political machine formed, one that would become the most powerful lobbying force in Washington. AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, backed by Christian Zionist dollars as much as Jewish ones. Billions in political influence. If you are still watching, this is the part they do not want you to reach. Because what comes next exposes the entire machine. John Hagee, pastor, television preacher, founder of Christians United for Israel, CUFI, the largest pro-Israel organization in America. Hagee has raised hundreds of millions of dollars in the name of biblical prophecy, money that directly funds Israeli settlement expansion. Why would this be hidden from American Christians? Who benefits when an entire nation believes God has already chosen sides in this conflict? CUFI lobbies Congress directly. It opposes any peace agreement that would create a Palestinian state and it calls this the will of God. Netanyahu has called American evangelical Christians Israel's greatest strategic asset. Not American Jews, evangelical Christians. Think carefully about that. Because Darby's doctrine created something no political strategist could engineer, a voting bloc that treats Israeli foreign policy as sacred scripture. Every year, Congress approves billions in military aid to Israel. The debate is nearly non-existent. The evangelical voter base demands it be so. America stations its military across the Middle East, not for oil alone, but to protect the theological imagination of 70 million evangelicals. Young Americans have died in Middle Eastern wars sold as national security, but preached to their families as the fulfillment of prophecy. How many lives has this doctrine cost? How many wars were enabled because an entire nation was told God had already chosen a winner? Jerry Falwell blessed the Iraq invasion. Pat Robertson said America must defend Israel at all costs. The pulpit became a war room. The same churches filling stadiums for prayer vigils sent their sons and daughters into wars the pulpit had already theologically pre-approved. Every footnote, every annotation, every study note in that Bible was quietly shaping the foreign policy of the most powerful nation on earth. And at the center of all of it, Jerusalem. 3 faiths call it holy. One doctrine decided it belonged exclusively to one people. Here is the question that should keep you awake tonight. What if this doctrine was never a mistake, but a deliberate design? Researchers have documented that Schofield's early career was financed by Samuel Untermeyer, a prominent Zionist lawyer and New York power broker. Schofield was a member of the Lotus Club, an elite Manhattan social club frequented by the most powerful men in American finance and politics. How does a convicted Kansas fraudster end up connected to New York's most powerful elite, right before publishing the most influential Bible in history? The money that printed millions of free Schofield Bibles has never been fully traced. That silence is an answer in itself. Fast forward 100 years. December 6th, 2017. Donald Trump does what no American president before him had dared to do. He recognizes Jerusalem as Israel's capital and moves the U.S. embassy there, fulfilling, in evangelical eyes, an ancient biblical prophecy. At the opening, John Hagee gave the prayer. Robert Jeffress, who said Jews can't reach heaven, gave the blessing. This was real. To 70 million American evangelicals, this was not politics. This was the hand of God. Trump had become their Cyrus, a pagan king serving God's plan. The Cyrus prophecy. A narrative now actively used to tell evangelicals that morally compromised leaders can still be instruments of divine will. And it worked. White evangelical Christians voted for Donald Trump at an 81% rate, the highest evangelical support for any candidate in history. The pipeline was complete. Darby, Schofield, CUFI, AIPAC, Trump, Netanyahu. A 19th century doctrine had become 21st century American foreign policy. And as bombs fall, as children die, millions of American Christians are told by their pastors, this is God's will. Do not question it. But where did Jesus say this? Show me the chapter. Show me the verse. Because I have read every word he spoke, and he said none of it. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers. Love your enemies. My kingdom is not of this world." Read it for yourself. It is all still there.
It doesn't say no.
Jesus never promised any nation a land. He never endorsed a military alliance. He never lobbied an empire. and he never said this. The Third Temple movement, funded in part by American evangelical dollars, wants to demolish the Dome of the Rock and rebuild Solomon's Temple. This would ignite a religious war that would engulf the entire planet. And American Christians are being told this is something to celebrate. This is the end game of a doctrine invented 200 years ago by a man who mistook personal ambition for the voice of the Holy Spirit. The truth they hid from you, the truth your seminary didn't teach, the truth that Darby and Schofield needed you to never, ever find. What happens when 70 million people discover the gospel they built their entire lives on was engineered by financiers, not the Holy Spirit? Jesus said the truth will set you free. But first, the truth is going to make you profoundly uncomfortable. That discomfort is where freedom begins. Because real faith does not need a political empire. Real faith does not need a lobby. Real faith does not need a doctrine invented in 1830. The gospel Jesus actually preached was the kingdom of God, not the kingdom of Israel. And that kingdom has no borders, no army, no lobbyist. The city at the center of the world's most dangerous conflict is also the city where Jesus wept, because he knew what was coming. Do you? Share this before it gets buried. Subscribe to Versefire, because the fire of truth is the only thing powerful enough to burn the lies to the ground.
Oh, that's a pretty good video, man.
Yeah, it was a good one. That's why I threw it up there for you, man. I know it was a little long, but
it's all right. I downloaded it too. You got to keep shit like that because the way this fucking internet is these days, man. You know, they're all the time trying to give you, what in the fuck are you doing here, you stupid thing? I don't
Roger Ledwell. Welcome, Roger Ledwell.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me good?
I can hear you, man.
Yeah, I'll take a small fry.
Roast beef let me give you that screen.
I saw you. I could tell by the microphone.
Welcome to the Denver Buckwild. Yeah.
It's Arby's. I thought it was OnlyFans for a minute, man.
Oh no. Yeah.
What? Hold on. What's going on?
We're getting ready to go take a trip across town.
Very nice.
Taking a trip where?
What?
Down 120th in my house on the buses.
Oh, you're on the bus right now?
I thought you were at work.
Yep, I can do this on the bus, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's
cool.
He's
Technographical genius, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, you wouldn't be able to have a phone on a bus if you were not on a globe. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right, because that has everything to do with it and shit.
No.
Jesus. I've had people say that dumb shit to me.
I bet. Yeah. It's getting ready to snow here, I think, in about the next half hour. It's freezing cold and it's raining hard.
Oh, it's super muggy here, and my allergies kicked up big time today, so my eyes are all scratchy. And
I'll trade you, D-man. I'll trade you.
My body
any day of the week.
Itchy earlier.
That's a condition.
Yeah, you can scratch that thing.
You know, I did know, but see, I've learned stuff from my dogs, so I just did that thing like they do across the carpet.
Rub it across the rug.
Yeah, I just scooch myself along across the carpet. I know why they do it. It feels good, man.
Yeah, you got the scoochies.
Yes,
I
sir.
found that other video too with that Larry guy. That's the second one.
Oh, the one with Anna Kasparian in there. Yeah.
It's just a short. It's not the whole thing, so it's a short.
Hey, I didn't know that this movie existed, man. So there's a movie. I guess it's been out since. Let me see here. I guess it was been out since over like a year, and it's about Donald Trump when he was younger, called The Apprentice. Did you ever hear of this movie?
Called the what?
See if I can find it. It's called The Apprentice.
It's a movie. Well, I knew you did the show, but I didn't know about the movie.
Yeah. Let me do this here real quick. I got the trailer for it. And then because how I got onto it was somebody posted a clip from it on X.
You sure this isn't like a compilation people turned into like a movie trailer?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I found the trailer to it on YouTube. It's been on there a
Because it
year.
should be in his IMDb. I'll look in his
Yeah,
IMDb.
it's listed, man. I did a search for the movie, and that's how I found the trailer.
Okay.
I was like, because I wondered that too. I was like, is this really a real movie? You know? And as it turns out, yes, apparently it is. And it's him being the shit, I did that. Yeah. It's him under the tutelage of Roy Cohn, okay, who is like a mentor to him. And in the clip that I saw, he was telling him, he says, even when you're losing, never admit defeat.
Yeah.
And shit. And I'm like, okay. So this might be.
And that's supposedly where
it was going to be in October. It went out in theaters October 11th, I think, last year.
Somebody just said it's streaming on Prime and Tubi right now.
Oh, really? I'm going to have to look at that tonight then. This would be interesting. I wonder who was involved with this, but let's see. This is the trailer to it.
Yes. Hello, this is Donald Trump from Mr. Cohn. Thank you so much. Donald who? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Roy Cohn, nice to meet you.
The Roy Cohn, you're brutal.
Guilty as charged.
How do you always win?
There's rules. The first rule is attack, attack, attack.
It's going to be the finest building in the city, maybe the country, in the world.
Rule 2, admit nothing, deny everything.
There's never been anything like this, of this magnitude, this quality. Ooh, cheese balls over here.
What are you doing?
You want one?
No, it looks totally disgusting.
Cheese balls.
Rule 3, no matter what happens, you claim victory and never admit defeat. You have to be willing to do anything to anyone to win. You have a big ass. You got to work on that.
Your face looks like an orange.
Attack, attack, attack.
Deny everything,
admit nothing. Never admit defeat.
What if you lost your fortune today?
Well, then maybe I'll run for president. I don't know.
I say, if you're indicted, you're invited.
You would have figured that movie would have gotten more attention.
Well, and it's fairly recent, 2024. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
So real quick, I noticed, was it directed by, or it said something about Maria Abramovich in it?
Did it?
Yeah. If you rewind it, like, I don't know, less than a couple seconds, you can see her name, I don't know, in the credits or something like that.
My question is, why did they use the Ramones for the soundtrack? That's what I want to know.
Why they use what?
The Ramones.
Hang on. It's Maria Bakalova.
Oh, okay. I thought it looked like Abramovich. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, those fucking names putting consonants and shit. What the fuck? Them people got backwards R's and all kinds of crazy shit in their language. I don't know what they're doing. They don't even know. They put numbers in the middle of their fucking words, man. What's up?
Don't bother with that clip. It's not the full clip. I'm gonna try to find the full one.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
All right, wait. Let me. Larry Kudrow. All right, hang on a second. Let me get the. Yeah, that's a
shortened one.
That Apprentice, it might be pretty good. Let me this is the one that was going around on X. This is why I wondered about it. It's only a little 19. God bless America. Keep doing that. I need to know how to make that go back to how it was before my screen went all kaflooey that time. So fucking. All right, now we got it.
Roy, you said we'd win this down. Rule 3. This is the most important rule of all. Okay? No matter what happens, no matter what they say about you, no matter how prudent you are, you claim victory and never admit defeat. Never admit defeat. You want to win, that's how you win.
And he was like under the tutelage of this scumbag Cone guy. They're a small hat, of course. There's always under every little bridge is a troll, isn't there?
Generally.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. But I thought that was a good one. I thought that might be a good one for people to check out. I didn't know it existed. So it's probably been, buried because of it may be very damning on Trump.
I was going to say, he must not like it. Otherwise, he'd probably be talking about it.
Right? Wouldn't he?
Yeah, you'd think.
And how come he still ain't talking about his ear? You'd figure he'd be trying to talk about that all the time because he knows everybody realizes it's fake. Yeah. He's been called out so much for that shit being fake and everything. Now he's losing it, man. He's realizing that his new clothes were no clothes at all. He was the only one that could see his new fashionable robe because of his royal eyes, but everybody laughed because he walked out naked.
And Perdon.
Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. And these people that will support no matter what the fuck, they believe this crap. They watch at Fox News. Listen to this guy.
Do you support the war in Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you support it?
Well, several reasons. Number one, they're going to have a nuclear bomb.
And I'm too fat and old, and I'll never go fight.
And they're going to vaporize us all. Number two, they're a dictatorship that's killing their own people. Number three, they keep on launching terrorist attacks against us.
What terrorist attack?
Oh, they tried to kill the president. They were involved in the incident where he got his ear shot off.
How do you feel about Trump blowing up an all-girls school?
I didn't know Trump blew up an all-girls school.
Yeah, you saw the all-girls school that was blown up in Iran. 165 little girls were killed.
Who told you that?
The news, the facts. I mean,
the Iranian government?
No, there's a video of the school being bombed.
Who released this video?
You can find it anywhere. This is like known facts. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay. It's kind of like Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And Goebbels released all kinds of interesting statements. Can't always believe what people are telling you.
Yeah. Why do you believe what Trump is telling you?
I think he's a good man.
Yeah. You agree with that? Like including the fact that he's on the Epstein's lit files?
I don't think he has anything to do with Epstein.
Real quick, let me show you something. Here, can you read this for me?
No.
That a female friend was forced to perform oral sex on the president, 13 to 14 years old.
Yeah. They don't want to hear it as soon as you start to mention it.
No.
They all walk away. It's like, yeah.
No, it hurts them.
They're part of the problem. They're part of why this problem is here. I mean, in a way, I'm part of the problem, but I didn't expect anything other than a fucking crash anyway. And it was going to happen no matter who you voted in. It didn't make a difference. So if it was going to happen, it was going to happen. Whether I went there or stayed home or went to a lake, it didn't matter. You knew that everybody was going to get caught up in it. And now everybody's going to get caught up with going to the other side. And then they're going to pass the ball. And that's all it's going to be. I try telling my brother this. He's big time into the whole Trump, and it's like, yeah, dude, it's not gonna matter. He just,
you're not gonna get around it.
Yeah, he's big into the Q stuff and all that shit. It's like, yeah, it was all psyop, dude. And he's like, oh no, okay. Said you watch, and I told him pretty much what's gonna happen, and said, get a pen and a piece of paper and write down what I just told you, and put it in an envelope and put it away. Talk to me in fucking 3 years. Exactly what I said happens.
Yep.
You'll quickly see. Nothing's gonna happen. Oh, okay.
Be like that. What was that dude that Johnny Carson would do? Karnak.
Oh, where he wore the fucking
puts it to his head.
Karnak, the mysterious or some shit. That was pretty good TV. I mean, back in the day, Johnny Carson, I used to crack up with that shit. I remember one time he had, so did you ever hear of a show called Wild Kingdom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there
was it Jack? What's his face?
It was Marlon Perkins with Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company. Brought to you by Mutual of Omaha Insurance. And this guy, he was a naturalist by the name of Marlon Perkins. And he was this old dude. And he had this young guy, kind of a real good shape and everything, named Jim. And Jim would always have to do all the fucking hard shit while Marlon would be sitting there telling you about it while he's sipping a Mai Tai under a tent, right?
Yeah.
It was, okay, so my assistant Jim is now going to tackle a water buffalo from a moving Jeep and then circumcise it, or Jim's over there going, I'm going to do what? What the fuck? You heard me, man. Get on the Jeep, fucking tackle the water buffalo, dude, And we'd sit there and clap, and we loved it. It was good entertainment back in those days. I forgot I was telling you about that, though.
Cubby, you mentioned who was the Jack London. Was that who was the guy who used to wear the friggin' like Outback outfit? He always had the blonde chick with him. He would bring all the monkeys out. And
Jack Hanna.
Jack Hanna. Yeah.
I was thinking of something different. Yeah. So.
What about that Australian dude, man? He was like all the time. He was like, "Hey, Broad crikey, that's the most dangerous animal in the world. Let's poke it in the nuts with a stick," and it's like, no, let's not fuck with it at all, let's just let it be what it is, and quit fucking with it.
Yeah.
All the time, I was thinking of something different. Spiders and shit, and I'm like, you son of. One of these days, I was like, one of these days, nature's gonna get your ass, and boy, it did, didn't it? Got stung right through the heart by a stingray, Oh, there's a stingray. Twang. I said, quit fucking with me.
I was actually watching Johnny Carson the other day, and I just found it hilarious and nostalgic. Like, they'd just be sitting there doing an interview with somebody, and everybody just sparks up a cigarette, like it's nothing back like the old days.
Yeah, drinking on live TV.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't a thing, it wasn't taboo or anything like it is today.
No, everybody did. I mean, people today would be horrified that, here me and my little brother as kids in a car in the wintertime, rolled up fucking windows, going to the mall, and mom and dad are both smoking up in the front seat, man. People would be fucking terrorized.
I know. I just think about my grandparents' house. My grandparents' house, you have to wave your hand just to get smoke out of your face, just to come in the living room. It wasn't no big thing back then,
I had a 1969 in 2004. I had a 1969 Cadillac Sedan DeVille Calais hardtop, and that thing had 11. I counted them. It had 10 ashtrays in it. 10 in a 4-door car. It had ashtrays everywhere. In every door panel, in the center console, in the center, on the back of the seats,
with lighters, with
lighters,
yes. Pushing lighters,
everywhere in that car, everywhere, and no seatbelts at all. 1969, zero seatbelts.
Well, now they're freaking out. Everybody's got it like that woman. The child must be in a car seat.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, kiss off. I remember one time we was going down the road, going somewhere. My little brother, he's all the time acting up and shit. And he crawled up over the back seat and got up in the back deck of the window, the back window. He got up there. And my dad was hollering at him, telling him to get down. And he just stayed up there. And so I felt the car speed up. I knew what my dad was going to do. My dad
the brakes.
The car up, then he fucking jammed the brakes. My brother come flying out of there, hit the back of the front seat, and landed back in the back seat and shit. My dad says, I told you to sit down in the fucking seat.
Yeah, when it was really being taught a real lesson.
Yeah, I mean, and there was no car seat. You had this. There were seat belts back there, but nobody fucking used them for anything. I mean, all it did was go across your lap.
Yeah,
no pile up in the back of the pickup truck. I mean,
it was a totally different world. But yeah, I remember that. I felt my dad speed up. I knew exactly what was going to happen. When he fucking tapped those brakes. My brother come flying out of that fucking deck, hit the back of the front seat, and bam, back into the seat and shit. He didn't know what had happened to him.
And then they had that one guy on there on Johnny Carson that handed out those publisher clearinghouse checks. Just kidding.
I know where I was going with the fucking Wild Kingdom thing. Okay, so he had that Jim guy the guy that would tackle the water buffaloes and shit. He had him on as a guest, and he brought some kind of a fucking crazy ass animal, you know, from Australia or some shit like that, some kind of huge fucking beetle or some crap. And all of a sudden, this thing flew up off of his arm into Johnny Carson's face and shit. And the wildlife expert was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know they could fly." And I'm like, what else don't you know about this fucking creature? You know? Good God.
Yeah, every when you think about all those things, you think about, you know, even the cars, they had no assistance aids whatsoever. No anti-lock brakes, no barely any cruise control. That was kind of a new thing in the 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of cars didn't even have power steering, or, you know, when you think about it, if you took somebody today and said, here, drive this 63 Rambler American, they would crash that car within 2 days.
Yep.
If it rained, they would crash the car. So, I mean, you know, you think about all this crap that everybody's got today. They got auto tracking on the thing. The car only goes so far, so close to it. You know, like, people would crash. There would be car crashes continuously if you took somebody and put them in something old today and said, here, go to work. There'd be
And then
deaths all over the place.
got all this freaking technology and people drive worse today.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to drive anymore. That's the whole problem, is that
for the most
that
part,
kept
yeah,
you
you're
in
right.
check, because if you were tailgating, there was no anti-lock brakes. Those tires were going to lock up. You know, there wasn't any safety mechanisms in there. You were the mechanism. That's it.
I was over. I heard this growling coming from over here. I look at that. You know, that little dog. It comes up in my lap. Cece. She's over there growling, going around in a circle and shit. And I was like, what? Well, she got some kind of a treat. And she's and I look, and there's moon shadows over there bird dogging her and shit. So she's growling, going around in a circle, trying to keep the treat from moon shadow. I had to holler at her to make her go away from it. Yeah, man, she thinks she's ferocious. I'll tell you what. She gets up there in that window and barks like thinks there's something going on. She's half blind. She can't see nothing. But she really thinks she's putting into it, you know. Anyway, I forget what the name of this movie was, but this was this kid said it perfect, man.
So it's not that the Jew runs the media or that he owns all the banks.
The Jews clearly control the media and the banks.
They undermine traditional life and they deracinate society.
Tear out the roots. A real people derives its genius from the land, from the sun, from the sea, from the soil. You know, this is how they know themselves. But, like, Jews don't even have soil. Notice the Israelis. It's a fundamentally secular society. They no longer need Judaism because they have soil. Because the real Jew is a wanderer. He's a nomad. He's got no roots and no attachments. So he universalizes everything. You can't hammer a nail or plow a field. All they can do is buy and sell and invest capital and manipulate markets. And, you know, it's like all mental. He takes the life of a people that's rooted in soil, and then he turns it into this cosmopolitan culture based on books and numbers and ideas. And, you know, this is his strength. You can take the greatest Jewish minds ever. Marx, Freud, Einstein. What have they given us? Communism, infantile sexuality, and the atom bomb. In the mere 3 centuries, it's taken these people to emerge from the ghettos of Europe. They've ripped us out of a world of order and reason. They've thrown us into a chaos of class warfare, irrational urges, relativity, into a world where now the very existence of matter and meaning is in question. Why? Because it's the deepest impulse of a Jewish soul to pull at the very fabric of life till there's nothing left but a thread. They want nothing but nothingness. Nothingness without end.
Wow. What movie is that?
I want to say The Believer. Does that sound right? I think it was called The Believer. I watched it a long time ago, but because I think that's Ryan Gosling, right? I think.
Let's see. Trying to see. Yeah, that's who that guy is. Trying to see if anybody does in the comments.
Pretty sure it's called The Believer.
Might be. I know I saw it a while back.
Yeah, I watched it a long time ago.
It's a good clip.
Well, here's one for my friends across the pond who are being invaded. Check this shit out. This is funny. 007 being retired. got to get a new one.
So, M. James Bond has retired. Who is our new 007?
Your Majesty, we've selected someone who represents modern London.
Modern London.
Bond. Sing Bond.
Is your car warranty in order? God damn, it's funny as shit. Did you find that clip?
No, I can't find it. I can't find. I mean, I know where I can get the original, but I know playing TYT might be a problem. But you would have to cut it off at a certain point. I can't find a short of it. I can only find the front. I could only find the front section where that Bobby-looking chick starts talking, and then she's speaking mumble. She's like talking with bobbles in her mouth. It's hard to understand her anyway.
Well, here's a good one. This is an oldie, but a good one. This was an old interview on CNN with good old DJT. And this is funny as shit. You can tell he's fucking lying. Remember when I said this motherfucker ain't never read a book?
Yeah.
Much less wrote one. Yeah.
Who are your favorite authors?
Well, I have a number of favorite authors. I think Tom Wolfe is excellent.
Did you read Vanity of the Bonfires?
I did not.
It's a phenomenal book.
What book are you reading now?
Well, I'm
Bonfire of the Vanities.
I'm reading my own book again because I think it's so fantastic, Tom.
What's the best book you've read beside Art of the Deal?
I really like Tom Wolfe's last book, and I think he's a great author. He's done a beautiful job.
Which book?
His current book. His current book. It's just out.
Bonfire of the Vanities.
Yes, and the man has done a very, very good job. And I really can't hear with this earphone, by the way.
Dumb fucker just got done saying he had not read Bonfire of the Vanities.
I've read it. Oh, I've read it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I read it. Yeah, it's a great one. Oh, my hearing thing isn't working good.
Do you remember that guy? I used to watch it. Do you remember that guy, the old guy with the glasses? Oh, he used to talk like this. Point, counterpoint. Remember the guy?
Oh, God, yes.
The old guy. They would sit around in like a circle, like 4 or 6 of them. And he was always on there. Pat Buchanan was always on that show. Point, counterpoint.
That's where they got the skit on Saturday Night Live between Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. The point counterpoint.
Jane,
because
you ignorant
start out you do it with some kind of an insult. Jane, you ignorant slut.
It was it was the McLaughlin group. The McLaughlin group.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of. Point, counterpoint. Like two people for one thing and the other people are against it. And that's every show. It was like, this is ridiculous. Point, counterpoint.
Let me see where they get that. Point, counter.
They were talking about Lee Marvin.
Don't play Saturday Night Live. They'll definitely hit you for that.
The old ones, I don't think so. The old
no,
ones,
I thought they usually always did on those.
They were talking about Lee Marvin because Lee Marvin was having like a really nasty divorce, and it was going on at that late 70s, I think 77 or 78 or something, and it was a real public thing, so that's where that clip comes from because they were talking about Michelle Triola was his wife's name. That's amazing. I can remember that.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, that'd take a while. But that would be funny because Dan Aykroyd would come on there and say, "Jane, you ignorant slut," and then go on with his point, and then she would say something nasty about him because that's what that counterpoint actually started being. You remember when Fox News was trying to push the idea that they were fair and balanced and shit?
Yeah.
And they had Hannity and Combs.
Yeah, I remember those retards.
And so
they were. I think they started on Bill O'Reilly. I want to say.
Well, yeah, and Combs was the liberal, right?
Yeah.
Combs was a liberal. Hannity was the extreme right, and you had the extreme left and the extreme right, and they would sit there and fucking argue back and forth about some dumb shit. And then pretty soon it just became Hannity.
Combs
was no
died.
longer there.
Yeah.
He died.
I think
he's dead
Combs
now.
died.
Yeah, but he was on with them. They had a show together for a short period of time. Yeah, like Sal was saying. But
Like they got rid of him quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they started him. Those two and Jesse Waters all started on Bill O'Reilly originally.
He's a dick. Bill O'Reilly is just a dick. He
do
really
it live. We'll do it live.
I know. I don't know whoever thought that he was like some kind of
put that clip in there. You should put that clip in the front with the do it as the last clip and we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Because Jesse Waters started out as like a man on the street type on Bill O'Reilly, and then whatever. But
who's that guy that he's been? He all the time goes off on people. I don't think he's on Fox. I think he's on something else. He's the one that went off on Mockler here just recently. He's always got this smug fucking look on his face that I'd like to just punch off of him, especially after he says something really stupid. And then he gets this smug look on his face, and I'm like, I just want to fucking hit him, you know? There's a few people, like that, you know. But yeah, that was some crazy shit. That guy today, he's like, well, Cavendish. And I said, what is Cavendish? What is that? How does that? And he said, it proves mass attracts mass. I said, no, it doesn't. He goes, well, yes, it does, because the two objects are attracted. You haven't proven that they were attracted to each other. You only proved movement. You didn't prove what moved anything. You assumed it. Oh, they fucking lose their mind on that one. This is the shit, man. They get so fucking mad at me, man. So mad at me. And all I have to do is just put the logic to them on any of that shit. Gravity, any of it.
Scott Jennings is your someone said it there.
That's the guy. But I mean, it's so funny, man, because they start these ones that are like long time globe trolls on there are like getting really, I'm making them look extremely stupid. And they don't even dare. Toon won't even fucking engage with me. All he'll ever say is, oh, this is why you're stupid, or something like that, or your mom eats farts, or, you know, some other childish little shit. And I'm like, dude, you really are like bottom of the barrel.
They know.
You know?
They know that they can't go any further. It can't go any further. Once it gets to the physicality of it, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, I ain't interested in your misinterpretation of a long distance observation, man. You know, you can sit there and scream that that's because of curvature all you want, but we all know that water will not behave in the manner necessary for that to be curvature. And you can't prove that it will. Even when you scream your fucking gravity, you don't have gravity. You don't have it. Even with Cavendish, you don't have it. Not at all. I don't care if you taken an observed cause and make some kind of a fucking weird ass formula backwards from your conclusion about it at all. It don't matter. At the end of the day, all you're doing is measuring the amount of time it takes for something to fall in a gas atmosphere. That's it.
Yep. I mean,
I can't imagine what these people, like, what their lives are like, that you made it your life's mission to sit and argue about that all day long. It's like, I ain't got time.
I mean, it wouldn't even
and be so untenable in your position that you have to go to the lengths of creating Flurpopedia pages.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of time involved in that.
And you got some little pimple fucking ass Jew with it helps you with it and everything. What's that Markley character?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what a sad, pathetic little life you have.
Alcoholic kids, fucking teen, you know what I mean? Early 20s alcoholics on the internet doxing people. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, like that debunk guy, whatever his name is. What a fucking retard, man.
Guys.
Yeah, he ain't a real bright one.
They're all drinkers.
Yeah, try not to mention any of them by name.
I know, but I'm just
I'll mention them. I don't give a fuck what
No, I know. I'm just saying me personally.
Yeah, I'll say them. I'll say who the fuck they are. They're shameful. They're shameful. FTFE. That was funny as shit. Call the sheriff here in my county. He made a threat at me. You know, and I later find out that they laughed their ass off about that dumb shit. Because they looked at some of his content afterwards and they were like, "Oh fuck!"
I trolled him a little bit when he took his flight to go to that thing in Washington or wherever he was going. He was going to that thing where he was crying. The kid called him a fag or something, and he got all pissed off and was crying. Well, I kind of trolled him a little bit on that and said, "Oh, why didn't you take an angle meter with you on the plane so you can show the curvature as you travel over it?" From where you took off to where you had to go. And I got zero response, and I got no responses from anybody. So I was like, okay, yeah, you people aren't interested in the truth at all. You just shit stirrers. So
yeah,
keep living the lie, you know.
Grifters, my man, grifters.
Yeah.
That's like I crack up, man. Somebody will say, "You're just a grifter." I go, "Do you know what the term grifting means? Do you know what it is to grift?" Okay, I'm not monetized. I don't sell no fucking shirts.
Right.
Okay? I link to somebody else's book.
Tomorrow she built under the window.
Yeah, man, and really some great books. Check them out when y'all get a chance, man. Talk about nukes are hoaxes, and they're great. They're great coffee table books. Oh, she said she's going to send me an updated this year calendar. It's the 13-month calendar, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, I have people that give donations from time to time, and I'm grateful for those. But as far as making like a steady any kind of anything off of this, I don't. I just love destroying bullies, destroying liars, breaking people's mental chains, break away from that fucking system, realize that you're not where you think you are, you're not who you think you are, any of that, man. That was all shit that was given to you. Break yourself free of that. Find out for yourself who you are and where you are. What is your purpose? Of course you have a purpose. You were created for a purpose. You don't just have something this fucking complex for no reason. Come on, man.
No, their purpose was to get drunk and dox people online.
Oh, well, those people, yeah, they've given over. They've given over. They've given away their free will, actually, and they become a cog in the system. You see, the very same system that oppresses us and lies to us every day. It's like these people say, "Well, they've known the Earth was a globe for 2,000 years," and I said, "How the fuck do you know what happened 2,000 years ago?" Well, it's in the history books. Oh, in the history books, huh? You mean just like right now you're seeing them manipulate things that are going on historically right now and given a different narrative, and you think that fucking shit's going to be true too? Are you kidding? You see them lying about recent history that you lived and know is fucking not what they tell you, but they still give a fuck. They still do it. So how your history is just a fucking fabricated bunch of shit. So I don't even want to hear about 2,000 years ago or Aaron Krusty Knees and his goddamn sticks and shit. That's some dumb. That's just that's a made up fucking story. I don't think that dude I don't think he fucking existed, man. I really don't. I think that's just a made up story for school kids to reaffirm this stupid idea that, oh, you live on a ball floating in a void and whirling and twirling and going all over the goddamn place at tremendous speeds that you can't comprehend or fathom. I mean, shut up. Don't trust your senses. I don't feel any movement. Well, that's the trick. See, yeah, huh? Right. That's why it always comes down to me. I love to ask people. I say, so did you discover that the Earth was a globe on your own and then later on find out that you were right? Or were you taught that the Earth was a globe? Well, of course they were taught that. And nobody would ever come to that idea, just walking around living and looking at shit. And never say, hey, you know what? I saw the sun go down and, that must mean that I'm on a big fucking ball. What?
So you got it all wrong. The sun goes into the ground and then comes up out of another place.
That's right. I can't.
What is wrong with you? Don't you know
that? Be fucking jerking chains. There's no way he could think that.
He was on here like last month, and he was still pushing it.
I know.
It's been a year and he's still holding on to it.
He's got to be just jerking my chain. There's no way, There's no way. I mean, a kid wouldn't even think that,
You even mentioned that on another show too. You said, "Oh yeah, I got this guy that thinks the sun goes to the ground."
Yeah, and Mark Sargent. I did that on Mark Sargent. Yeah.
Yep, he made the big time.
So yeah, you were mentioned. I forgot his name though. Shit.
He always had that like crazy religious name, Huahaya something.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, because like I forgot who that one dude was going to give me. You can get millions of dollars just by writing yourself a check or some shit. I was like, well, cool. Send me $1,000, right? And I forgot that was him that came back on the other night. I was like, that's cool. I'm just I'm not gonna do your thing though. That's just all.
I'd love to see you buy oil from Texas and Louisiana, from the United States, Alaska. We've got so much of it. And he said he likes the idea. He'd like to talk about that. I think it'll happen.
And right now, every other video on my feed is people celebrating the fact that we may sell some oil to China. May I remind you that it was treasonous to sell oil to China in 2022? It was unthinkable. It was treasonous. It was so bad, Congress even passed a law that we couldn't sell oil to China out of the SPR. So it went from being treason to being a 5D chess move by Donald Trump. And oh, by the way, the only oil that China would possibly buy from us would be the oil they stopped buying from us that they used to get from Alaska. And then Donald Trump initiated a trade war against them. So they went, and they replaced that oil with Canadian oil. Yeah. China's going to buy more oil from us about the same time you get your Doge check. Okay? All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's them Doge checks coming out, man?
Yeah, I know all the money that they wasted and that Elon Musk saved. The big question is, why do we have to sell oil to anybody? Why aren't we just using the oil for us here in this region and just use our own shit if we got so much of it? And why is the price so high? Can't we just open up the floodgates and dump all this oil into our own, what do you call it, to lower the price? No.
It's
that
because
we don't have
the world market dictates the price. And also what's the reserve currency? It's the US dollar.
And it's worth shit.
It's sort of like cutting your own leg off so you can eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't cannibalize yourself. And that's
You'll
what
eventually run out.
Yep. So that's just.
Do you remember a while ago when the freaking they had those oil lines and the Native Americans up in were complaining about the oil lines going across sacred grounds and stuff? Remember all that? And they were freaking out there grabbing people on the road, and people were trying to block the road and all that stuff. I forget. And they made such a giant stink about how the oil was, polluting the land, and this is burial land, and it was just insane. And now here we are, can't get a drop of oil. Our own oil ain't worth shit. Like, geez, wow, we did all that for nothing.
Oh, I got something for you. So you remember not long ago we were talking about, how McDonald's used to be look like a fun place, and it had a distinct look to it and everything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
And these restaurants are just they've gone dystopian, for lack of a better term. There's a reason for that. There's a reason. And it's pretty cool. I didn't even think about this. You'll like this information.
So this, by the way, is all because of Wall Street. This is all because of the stock market, because of investors, private equity, and the demand to get more value to shareholders. This has nothing to do with wokeness or DEI, you stupid sleeping babies. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you. McDonald's, the way McDonald's is structured is McDonald's owns the land underneath this building. They own the land. They're the biggest landholders in the United States when it comes to commercial properties. The franchisees then rent the building on top of them. And you know what happens? Sometimes McDonald's go out of business. And when McDonald's goes out of business, they want to put a different business in there and they want to sell the land underneath it. Well, guess what? When you have a building that is can only be a McDonald's or can only be a Pizza Hut or can only be a Cracker Barrel or only be a Taco Bell, guess what? It's harder to sell those businesses. So every business has slowly been turning into a gray or beige box. Because you know what happens when you put a vape store inside of an old Pizza Hut? We all call it, oh, the vape store inside of the old Pizza Hut. Now, in the future, they'll just pull the Pizza Hut sign off and you'll go, I think that might have used to be a Starbucks. I don't remember. I don't know. But all the buildings used to look like this. It's also easier to do upkeep on it. They all have the same dumb awning with these weird little latches attached to them. They don't have to have the special McDonald's only custom ordered roof or the special Pizza Hut red shingle or making sure that they have to do this special lighting underneath Cracker Barrel or whatever was going on with Taco Bell back in the day. They're all buying from the same company. They're all using the same parts. That brings down their cost. They're not building play places anymore. It's not because of wokeness. It's not because, oh, gay people. No, it's because insurance for a play place costs more than just having a fucking McDonald's, because the purpose of all of these buildings is to just pay off the property taxes while the land underneath it gets more and more expensive. So eventually you can sell it to somebody. Like in the case of Cracker Barrel, maybe the fact that they have land that's connected to the edge of every single highway exit by mid-tier cities all across the United States, maybe that'll be a good play for somebody who wants to put up electric vehicle supercharge stations. Oh, look how they're all convenient right here off the highway, and we have robots that can serve everybody $12 hot dogs. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but none of this has to do with wokeness, DEI, LGBT, black people, immigrants. None of that shit was caused by this. This was completely caused by Excel spreadsheets and people going, if we do less, we can cash out with more. And that's the American dream, to do fuck all and to cash out with a lot more money. Okay?
Yeah, I had never thought of that before, man. There's a method to where they're at, like with Cracker Barrel, like he said. And I was just thinking about that. The one that we've got closest by in Harrisonburg, that's right there at the I-81 interchange.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, we got one in southern New Hampshire right on the border of Massachusetts. That's literally, 150 feet from the side of the interstate.
Yep. It's right there, man. Crazy.
It's funny you mentioned that and played that, because earlier when I was eating dinner, I put a link in the back that it's becoming trendy to actually bring back the old style now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a couple of franchisees that are doing it. And
I did. I saw something about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's going to buy all red cups and shit to put in there. Yeah. I saw that. That's what I said.
But I mean, like, even I think they say within that article that Burger King and some of the other places are going back to the old packaging. How long it'll last, who knows? But I even noticed within this video that he didn't bring it back fully. Like they brought back a salad bar. It's like, I remember Pizza having like a full pizza buffet thing. Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Pizza Hut had a salad bar too.
Wendy's had a salad bar, which was actually pretty good back in the day. And Pizza Hut had a whole.
Do you remember the old Burger King? The old Burger Kings where they wore like the red and brown, orange kind of stripy weird suit.
Yeah, and they had those hats.
Yeah,
they had those poofy hats. like funky hats or something.
Yeah.
I do remember a little.
The lettuce, special orders, don't upset us.
What the heck was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Sorry. I pictured that. Like, I remember it was a black woman with one of them fucking things, and she was like in the front of all these Burger King people were singing outside of a Burger King, going, "Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders, don't upset us." And I remember, just like came to me in a wave right there, man. But I don't think they stopped calling it retro style. Makes me feel old. I am old.
That's how you charge more money for stuff.
Yes, indeed. $12 hamburgers.
It's vintage.
It's a big trend right now. Restaurants going retro to try to bring customers in.
Whoa, I bet she's an expert on restaurants. She looks like a restaurant expert.
To dining rooms. Bradley Blackburn got a taste of how they're putting nostalgia on the menu.
In the hills of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a familiar red roof catches the eye. Inside the vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and yes, the salad bar you may remember from decades ago.
I mean, it's amazing the comments we have about they have the red cups. Yes, we do.
Tim Sparks got his start working at a Pizza Hut that looked like this. He's now president of Dayland Corporation, which owns this franchise and more than 80 others around the country. They've redecorated many restaurants to rewind the clock.
It looks exactly like the one that I remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
Some Pizza Hut classics are now top performing locations. Customers show up for a piece of their childhood.
It just brings back memories.
To share with their own kids.
When you finally find something that tastes how you genuinely remember it tasting, like you can't let it go.
People come from 2 and 3 hours away, and I'm not making that up.
More restaurants are serving up nostalgia. Franchises like Burger King and KFC returned to old school logos and packaging in recent years. At Pizza Hut, they even brought back Pac-Man.
Yeah!
But for Sparks, this is much more than a game. It's a mission to rebuild places where families can connect.
If we could get them in here as a family, they do tend to put their phones down and actually have conversations and speak with each other. I'm not going to tell you I know how to fix the world, but I do think that family is a good place to start.
He hopes to renovate more of his restaurants as long as he can find enough of those lamps.
They're hard to get?
Yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
A familiar taste.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Bringing people together.
Just like I remember it.
Again, Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
They put the phone down. People are going to start slugging each other as soon as the phone.
Hey, bring back the prices then, buddy. Let's see how serious you are about it.
Yes. Yeah, speaking of high prices.
Somebody in the comment section said, bring back A&W. We used to have an A&W in the southern part of the state that closed, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. It's gone finally.
They got one here, but they combine them all with Long John Silver's.
Yeah, that's,
it's
that
not like the old ones, I mean.
Yeah. Now, here, Long John Silver's is combined with Taco Bell. Taco Bell, KFC, and Long John Silver's are all in the same place.
Yeah, I used to like the old Long John Silver. They had the wooden dock that you walked up on with up into the restaurant.
They still got that here, actually. We got one of the old ones here,
I used to like that back in the day when it was good. But see, it ain't the same anymore. KFC is not Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's KFC.
People used to just call it KFC, but it was actually Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then when another corporation bought it and called it KFC because they wouldn't sell the rights to the name Kentucky Fried Chicken, it went to fucking shit. It did. It went right to shit.
Yeah. They ain't gonna be able to replicate the taste of anything either, besides the point, because they put a bunch of poison and everything now. It's like, okay, well, good luck trying to recreate that.
Well, it's all these damn kids in their rock and roll Alice Cooper 8 track.
I blame you guys.
About 40 years back, old time.
Yeah, man, you gotta hit them right where it hurts. Right?
You and your Andy Williams.
You and your damn bopper guys. Your fucking Buddy Holly shit.
Who was the guy you said when I came on? I don't even remember now.
Oh, Herb Alpert.
Yeah, you and that Herb Alpert.
Herb Alpert.
Wearing your cardigan, your sissy.
Rebelling against authority.
During his speech, Gowrie noted how the Kentucky business community and farmers are being squeezed by the rising cost of fuel and fertilizer. That prompted me to ask how he feels about the war in Iran, which has caused prices to soar.
The president is playing five-dimensional chess. He is resetting the entire global power structure. So let him work through that, to reset that, to set the conditions for just like President Reagan did. Exactly like President Reagan did.
During his speech, Gowrie noted how the
Wow. 5D chess. It's not a case. Listen, he planned on acting like he blundered into a fucking war for Israel. Right? He pretended that. That's all part of his grand plan. See, this is all part of his is strategy. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Does anybody really believe any of that?
Some people do, unfortunately, but shoot, I don't know.
Oh, here's the fucking guy who was fast asleep and about ready to fall out of his chair when he was among world leaders. This is it. Oh my God.
I've noticed that the hardcores, and not all of them, but a lot of the hardcore MAGA people are just trying to like avoid talking about any of it. They're just trying to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Having any kind of
pretending
conversation.
like nothing's going on. Yeah. And worried that you may bring it up.
Right.
Yeah. And especially when I'm around, man, people are really worried that I might bring it up. But I don't. Because that's enough for me. I know that you're worried that I'll bring it up. You know what's going on. Look at this guy.
Phase of the Gaza peace plan. This includes ensuring a lasting.
He almost fell out of his fucking chair, man. Come on.
I'll tell you another thing is freaking eggs, man. Those things are. Remember when Biden was president? Everybody was bitching about how much eggs are. Well, they're freaking expensive now too.
Yeah, they are. Everything
crazy
is
expensive.
It's like $4.40 a gallon up for gas up the street, up at the store now, man.
But yeah, but eggs were a big topic. You know, and Biden was all the cost of eggs are so much. Well, hell, there's shit. I don't know. Like the cheapest ones I found the other day, I get them from a farmer, which even still those aren't that cheap, but they're like I think the cheapest ones are like $5 a dozen. I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, we got them for like $2.50 from the farm.
Yeah.
And they're only mediums. They're not the big giants.
Well, that's crazy.
You know, they had an air show.
Yeah, I saw that.
And at the Air Force
collided.
in Idaho, Mountain Home Air Base, in Idaho, and these two F-18s, man, they crashed into each other. This is funky. So there's 2 more planes we've lost. Look at it. That one trying to. That's a plane rape. That's what that is. Just poor shoot.
And they weren't even that far off the ground either.
Oh. There they are. Already almost near the ground.
I'm going to fall right into the fire.
Oh, they're way off away from it.
I know. I'm just saying.
See, that one plane tried to mate with that other plane.
Plane humping.
Plane rape.
Transformer.
Oh my God. That's terrible. Now there's 2 more planes we've lost.
Well, at least it wasn't a dry island fire.
How they even got money to have air shows? Can't you want to talk about jet fuel prices?
I know it's such a waste of money. All of it is. They proposed here a while ago. People were talking about how people. I went to a meeting and one of the people that got up and said, "All this freaking waste. All you people waste money. Why are we having these stupid parades and why are we having these stupid fireworks things and all this shit?" Because the guy went and found out how much it cost, and it was some ridiculous amount of money for them to close off downtown, the whole middle of downtown, and have like 300 details and a fire in every fire station. And it was like, why are we doing this? Just friggin', just make fireworks, just make it so that you can have your own celebration if you want to have it and have it in,
right.
You know what I mean? Why are you going to do all this pageantry and all this crap? You're hurting for money, but you can't stop, doing this ridiculous crap. And everybody clapped and stuff, and they kicked everybody out because everybody clapped. And I was like, fuck all these people. I just got up and walked out. I was like, hell with this. You ain't changing shit here. These people are all sack of crap.
They canceled the air show indefinitely. I forget how they word it. Indefinitely canceled the air show or whatever, which means they ain't bringing it back. But
rodeos is the other thing that's nasty when they're like smacking the horses and ripping the tails off of calves and stuff. And, I seen it once and I was like, nah, I'm never going to this again. If this was dogs. If they were doing this with dogs or fucking, shit like that, this shit would be banned immediately. But they have no problems breaking the leg or something, in front of everybody to see. It's like, why are we doing any of this? This is, it's just ridiculous.
They still have dog tracks. They got rid of most of them.
No, they got rid of them all up here. my friend's dad worked at the track down by the on the Atlantic Shore, down by Boston, right at the outskirts of Boston, Wonderland. And
see, I told you, you're never going to be a dog racing champion. They don't have
greyhounds. My cousin, races greyhounds, but not here in Lincoln, which is
Nebraska.
No, Lincoln. I think it's Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Oh,
I think it's still legal there. I could be wrong though.
I always thought Rhode Island was a state where pedos escaped to. It's like you never hear about it.
Rhode Island.
It's like
that's
Rhode
where Peter
like,
Griffin.
Rhode Island's like the Israel of America.
Yeah, it's an extension of freaking New York, basically.
Just kidding, but
Connecticut.
I never knew anybody from there. It was just like I think that's where all the pedos go.
Oh, no. This is pretty bad right here.
Iranian airstrikes have damaged or destroyed at least 228 structures or pieces of equipment across 15 U.S. military sites in the Gulf. The damage was worse than most people understood. Some of these explosions were fairly massive. You see hangars blown out. You see barracks really destroyed one after another. In one case, there's a huge crater at an airbase in the UAE. In some of these cases, the strikes are very small, so we think that they were probably from drones. This is the first time that an adversary has been able to put out satellite imagery almost in real time of the damage that they're causing to the United States. We ended up reviewing 128 images, filled in this gap left by U.S. satellite imagery providers. So I think this is significant not only because the Iranians are able to control or influence the information war to a greater degree than ever before by showing the rest of the world how much they are hitting U.S. bases. It's also significant just because of the damage itself. This war went on perhaps longer than the administration thought it would go on. The Iranians had better targeting, better satellite imagery, and better ability to strike U.S. bases than people had understood.
Yeah, I looked it up, and Lincoln was the one and only greyhound racing track. My cousin, for years, ran dogs out of Lincoln, but they banned it in 2010 because I remember them banning it in the northeastern states like Massachusetts, New Jersey. I know they banned it all. New Hampshire never had. New Hampshire actually did have one. They banned horse racing too up here. Up here they banned horse racing.
Didn't they really? That's crazy.
Yeah,
they closed the horse track here, but they never banned it.
I had to go replenish my drink.
I loved going to the horse track because once in a while I would say, you know what, I don't feel like going to a sub shop. Let's go to the track. And I would order lunch at the track and then like bet on a couple of, just randomly pick a number like on the next two races because we had to sit there and wait. So I was like, hell with it. Here's $3. I'm going to bet on 2, 4, and 3 for first. And only a couple of times did I ever do that. And I actually won. We were sitting there and they called the number out. And I was like, wow, look at that. I actually won, paid for lunch.
I bet on this horse once. Is the only time I ever did that. I bet on this horse, and that fucking thing was winning, and it was going around the track, and it got like around to the third corner and fucking died. I mean, literally fucking died, man. And I lost. So I was like, I'm like, well, I guess horse racing's not meant for me. That's a sign, man. The fucking horse died.
Didn't have his lucky horseshoes on, huh?
I don't know what was going on with it, man. But it wasn't cool.
You bet on him, and he had a heart attack. Poor bastard.
Yeah. I was like, that's the worst luck in the fucking world. He couldn't just lose. No, he has to get my hopes up and then die. That's fucked up.
Put a 10 feet from finish.
Right. I'm done. Oh, see, I got cappuccino brewing in here. And
Frappuccino,
some Tate's chocolate chip cookies.
Cappuccino's good, but it gets you a little loose.
Well, you need that sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I was drinking the cappuccino. It's like, you go in there to take a dump, and it's like trying to lay an egg. You're like, we gotta loosen this up a little bit here,
You gotta hold your pinky out when you sit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all fruity about it. Yeah. This chick she's a master class in debate with an Israeli professor. The guy's name is her name is Miriam Francois. She drops a factual masterclass in a debate with Israeli professor Uriel Abulov. Let's see what that is real quick.
It's the state of Israel, because I'm still speaking, which is, no, that's factually correct, and we can discuss this later, but you don't get to interrupt me when I'm talking. Thank you. The propaganda machine involves talking about this as if it's two sides. It's just two sides. No, we have an occupying power, which is funded to the tune of billions by the United States and receives billions of dollars of aid to drop 2,000-pound bombs on a civilian population encaged with nowhere to flee to. And then you have a civilian population which has zero control on any of its exit routes, any of its movements, and in fact is controlled under a form of colonial bureaucracy which essentially attributes different forms of rights to different Palestinians. We heard a reference here to Arab Israelis. They're not Arab Israelis, they're Palestinians who have Israeli ID. They were people who in many cases ethnically cleansed from their homes or who have been given the choice to remain in their homes and to live under a second-class form of citizenship. Not me saying it, this is reports by Amnesty International, by Human Rights Watch, which show that Palestinians live under a form of apartheid throughout all of the territories occupied by Israel. When we talk about extremism in Israel, and I think that that's far more significant because of the power imbalance we're talking about. In 2017, there's a de facto recognition of the 1967 borders, which essentially means a two-state solution. But ultimately, this focus on Hamas is a distraction. Hamas does not have the support of the majority of Palestinians. In fact, even the poll he cited there is incorrect. There just haven't been elections in these territories, which of course has suited Netanyahu because he has used Hamas as a bogeyman to justify never having to engage in peace negotiations with the Palestinians. Because again, as much as there are attempts to make this the two sides thing, there's actually one overwhelming colonial power and there is one occupied, colonized people, and they are not the same. They don't have the same reach in terms of the narrative, and they don't have the same reach over each other's lives. You talked about the Hamas Charter, laying out this genocidal vision. We don't need to be speculative when we talk about Israel's genocidal vision. It's happening right now. And for you to discuss a hypothetical generic genocide that is not happening at a time when an actual genocide is ongoing is frankly distasteful and, in my opinion, disgraceful. There are now plenty of polls that show that it's not just a fringe within Israeli society. I wish I could tell you it was. I lived in Jerusalem. I lived in the occupied territories. The situation has got worse. Are there Israeli peace builders? Abso-freaking-lutely. And thank God for those people. But they are a minority. They are today deeply embattled. They live in fear for their own security, and they cannot be public about their opposition. Otherwise they receive much of the same treatment meted out to the Palestinians. When we talk about the Israeli public, a poll in December 2023 showed that this poll asked Israeli Jews, to what extent should Israel take into consideration the suffering of the civilian population in Gaza when planning continuing the fighting? 80% said to a very small or fairly small extent. There is a massive dehumanization of the Palestinian population by Israel, unfortunately, that has filtered deep down into Israeli society, which is why we found TikToks of regular Israelis making fun of mothers losing their children. It's why we see pseudo rap tracks trying to eulogize what Israel is doing in Gaza, which by all intents and purposes is horrific. It is objectively horrific. And so this idea that it's just a minority of Israelis who are caught up in an extremist narrative, I'm afraid that's part of the spin. And don't be caught up in the spin that gets you focusing on Hamas when actually the majority of people who are being killed in Gaza today and who are being ethnically cleansed in the West Bank today are Palestinians. They are not Hamas supporters. They are Palestinians. Full stop. The war Israel is waging today is against Palestinians, and it always and has always been that's at stake here.
Hitting it on the head, right on the money.
I say, man. And that's the thing. They can't deny any of that. And that's why that guy was starting off. He's just going to interrupt. That's what they do. They don't want you to talk. They don't want you to say what you got to say. They want, and then focus on minutia that has nothing to do with what you're actually getting at. See, this is a. So I guess criticizing Donald Trump is now treason.
Ooh, he sucks.
That's something. I'm glad you mentioned treason. You remember when it was you had to go to jail if you burnt for a year if you burnt the American flag? Whatever happened to that little story?
Yeah, I didn't see anything about it. What about an Israeli flag?
No, good to go.
Yeah, it wouldn't stand up in court. No way.
No, you got the right to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have every right to do it. If you own that piece of property, it doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a hubcap, could be your clothes, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I bought it. It's mine.
Yep. George, you can do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wasn't even made in America.
China. We won't have no more American flags either now because Donald Trump fucked that up.
Yeah.
Went over there. He told Boeing over here that he was going to get them to buy 500 aircraft. So they were banking on 500 aircraft. Stocks went up. He goes over there. China says, no, we're not going to buy 500. We'll buy 200. Stocks go back down. Everybody's freaking out. They started spending money they didn't have yet, like they always do.
So Trump says that it is treasonous to criticize him in any way, shape, or form. He says that if you say that Iran is doing well militarily, or if you even write that out, you are committing treason. He said this on video. It's an irrefutable fact. If you disagree with me, you're wrong, stupid, and a fucking liar. He literally said this on video to a reporter who asked him about the fact that, hey, the United States of America has officially lost the war in Iran. You have gotten no concessions. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed, even though you claim you have defeated them militarily. Like, what do you have to say to that? And he says, I actually think it's treason what you're saying. I think that you saying that they are doing well militarily, I think that's treason. He also doubled down on this, and he wrote it on Truth Social saying that it is treason. I just want you to know, if you combine this with the NSPM 7 designation that labels any and all Democrats as domestic terrorists, and you combine that with the new counterterrorism strategy, this is their plan on rounding up people like me and Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske and any fucking leftist you know for being dissidents of the Fuhrer. That's why I call him a Fuhrer, because he's a dictator. He's a fascist dictator, and he is trying to make it illegal to criticize him. And he's also putting up golden statues of himself, and he's bending over a barrel, getting fucked up the ass by the Chinese, begging them for $1 trillion investment into America, which would literally get rid of our fucking sovereignty. But yeah, so Donald Trump claims it is treason to criticize him in any way, shape, or form, and it is treason to point out the verified truth, which is Iran is winning the fucking war. And to all of you right-wing fucking chuds who claim that we have already won or that we are winning, why is the Strait of Hormuz closed? This is all you have to say. Anytime one of those fucking uneducated redneck hicks says some shit like, oh, we've destroyed their military, why is the Strait of Hormuz closed? Because it's closed. Are we the ones closing the Strait of Hormuz? Are we the ones who are the reason why? Because it's a lose-lose for you. Either the Iranians have control of the Strait of Hormuz, and that's why the price of absolutely everything is skyrocketing, or we have the Strait of Hormuz, and we are purposefully keeping it closed, and the price of everything is skyrocketing. So it's a lose-lose situation for you stupid fucking chuds. Anyway, yeah, so apparently I'm a traitor to the United States of America, and you are a traitor to the United States of America because you do not blindly suck on Donald Trump's disgusting orange decrepit penis, which probably hasn't been able to get hard in over 25 fucking years. You are a fat-bodied, rotting fascist. You literally have dementia. You have early onset Alzheimer's. You're a fucking failure. You managed to go bankrupt 5 fucking times. You were the most corrupt politician in American history, and you are easily the worst president in American history. Did I forget to mention that you're a child rapist, that you're a fucking pedophile, that you're a sex trafficker? Did I forget to mention all that shit, and that you also said that you want to fuck your own daughter, you sick, twisted animal? Fuck you and fuck everybody who supports Donald Trump. I got a whole new YouTube video talking about this in length. Again, if you disagree with me, you're wrong and stupid.
If you disagree with him, you're wrong and stupid.
He sounds like a prick himself.
Yeah, that's TikTok for you.
He's kind of a toxic fellow. He's kind of toxic. But people respond well to that. They like that. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's a niche thing, but it works for some.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, we did this already. Boom, boom, boom.
It's character acting. That's why I equate it to.
Yeah.
So this Chud the Builder guy, I didn't really know much about him. Did you?
Yeah, he kind of came on the scene quick. No, not until he shot somebody or something or whatever happened.
Apparently, he would go around and instigate with blacks or something. And then he finally got attacked and he shot somebody. And now I guess he's in prison or something, or waiting to go to trial, or how's that? I don't know exactly what it is, but I guess this is him. They said that it said new footage of Chud the Builder from 6th grade has emerged. Apparently he's been at this for a long time. I have not seen this yet, so I don't even know.
I guess you guys
I've gone through my material. I'm just going what comes up, man.
Negus. One more time. Negus.
Negus.
Negus. What is the language of origin?
Ethiopian to Amharic.
What is the definition?
A king. It's used as a title of the sovereign of Ethiopia. Negus.
Negus. Could you use it in a sentence?
The Negus ruled Ethiopia until the coup of 1974.
Negus.
Do you see what he's doing, right?
Baiting,
because it sounds like niggas.
Yeah, he's baiting him into saying.
He's baiting him into saying it and shit. He's getting a kick out of this, man. And then he says it himself.
Could you repeat the definition?
A king. It's used as a title of the sovereign of Ethiopia. Negus.
Negus.
And Andrew, would you say the word loudly for the judges?
Negus.
One more time.
Negus.
Negus.
Negus. Negus. Negus. Negus.
Absolutely stunned, but he'll take it.
Wow.
Well, that was funny. Yeah. But this is what Arby's will do to you after a day.
I don't really think that was him.
No.
I think that was another kid.
No. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Niggas, please.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. George Carlin. Here's some good words of wisdom, always from George.
7 words.
Well, George, you're fascinated with language. Why?
Because language is how they hide things, Larry.
Hide what?
Reality. Nobody lies anymore. They rename it. Example. It's not spying, it's surveillance. It's not propaganda, it's messaging. It's not censorship, it's moderation.
That concerns you?
No, what concerns me is people believe it.
Well, George, you're fascinated with language.
Wow.
What?
That's a lot in a short period of time. Watch it one more time.
Because language is how they hide things, Larry.
Hide what?
Reality. Nobody lies anymore. They rename it. Example. It's not spying, it's surveillance. It's not propaganda, it's messaging. It's not censorship, it's moderation.
That concerns you?
No, what concerns me is people believe it.
That's, yeah.
On the money.
Yeah. Well, didn't Carlin win a Supreme Court case with the 7 words thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They basically took him off of TV because he said because of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, he took a big hit because of that. You got to remember, he went from wearing suits and being on Uncle Milty and being on these regular straight TV shows, and he went to wearing jeans and and an undershirt and and catered more and got away from the straight laced people because they didn't kind of get it, and he Yeah, so I mean, he took a big hit from that too. So all the big shows didn't want to put him on it.
I think that transformation took place with some entheogens. You know what I mean? Like either mushrooms or something like that. Because he was already onto it, but then I think he got more enlightened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
the
that's
whole LSD, and he was big on coke and pills and all kinds of drinking.
But I mean, that's the thing. You start really questioning all kinds of shit.
Richard Pryor, same thing. Richard Pryor went through the same thing, where he was wearing suits and was, and he did that same thing. He got away from it and went to the dirty jokes and the, all that stuff. There's a funny story with Rodney Dangerfield, and Eddie Murphy said he was at somewhere and he went into a bathroom. And he goes into the stall, and who is standing next to him? Rodney Dangerfield. And he looks over to him and says, "Hey, kid." And he says, "Hey, what's up, Rodney?" Says something to him. And he said, "Hey, you don't need to do all that. You don't need to do all that blue humor stuff, And then later on, years later, he saw him again, and he walked up to him and shook his hand and said, "Hey, who knew?" Meaning, like, who knew that was going to work, that you were doing all that blue shit,
Right.
But that was the first thing to come out of his mouth, like, "Hey, who knew?"
Well, people got like a really shock surprise. Like, for instance, Red Fox had been a stand-up comedian for a long time. Okay. And he was a raunchy motherfucker, man. He was a raunchy ass motherfucker. And a lot of people's only exposure to Red Fox was Sanford and Son. So they would see that Red Fox was performing in Vegas, and they say, "Oh, cool!" And they take the kids with them, go see fucking, Fred Sanford perform. Oh my god! And he'd start telling some fucking dirty ass jokes and shit, and getting raunchy. These people are flabbergasted. They're like, "What the fuck? This is not." And it's like, no, you didn't come see the Fred Sanford show. You came to see the Red Fox show. It's a different story altogether, man.
It's the
I loved his character. I loved that. One of my favorite movies is Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
I love that fucking movie. Della Reese, she's like, "You shot my fucking pinky toe off."
He acts like he's blind, like he can't see. He's got those big, thick Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
Put my glasses on.
He was calling the craps table and he couldn't see the dice. But yeah, that's a great movie. And that one where Arsenio was all pissed off because his brother got killed and shit.
Yeah.
Like shooting at him through that window. And he's got a machine gun. The other guy's got some kind of a fucking rifle firing off.
A little 32.
And the other guy's got like a little 32. And he's going like that. They look at him like, "What the fuck is that?"
What's the other? I was thinking, was it Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, the ones where they go to jail or whatever, and they end up on the chain gang? I'm trying to remember the name of that movie. Life. Yeah, I hadn't seen that in a while. That's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Martin Lawrence was doing pretty good until he flipped shit. And,
I know. Yeah, he's got some decent stand-ups.
Dude, I used to love that TV show of his.
I did too, Martin.
Oh my god, it was
Damn, yeah. And his dumb friend.
Yeah, man, that TV show was funny, man. I gotta look and see if that's playing on reruns anymore, man.
It's probably on BET, and I'm being serious. I'm pretty sure it is. I used to watch the reruns on BET. It's I'm pretty sure they still play it.
I love that show. Martin was pretty good.
There's a crazy theory that no nuclear weapon was ever dropped in the history of humanity, and that nuclear weapons don't actually exist. Now, I know this sounds pretty crazy, especially when you're looking at a nuclear blast right behind me, but there's some validity to this theory. The first thing is that if you actually look at the nuclear test footage, the Nuketown test footage, it looks really weird. All the houses look very poorly constructed. All of the dust coming up and then suddenly it getting blown to smithereens. It almost looks like CGI or some sort of Hollywood production. Not only that, but all of the cameras seem to be perfectly fine. They must be the most powerful cameras on Earth. And another thing, if you go to Hiroshima, you can see that it is a thriving city. Same with Nagasaki. But what about all of the radioactive nuclear fallout that's supposed to be there for decades and even hundreds of years? You can actually tour Chernobyl. There's vegetation growing everywhere. It's perfectly fine. So where is the radioactive fallout? What actually happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? My theory is that it was actually just a bunch of series of fire bombings, because the United States literally bombed Japan back into the Stone Age. So if you look at the aftermath of the Tokyo firebombing, it actually looks just like the aftermath of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Which is exactly why they didn't target Tokyo as you would expect, because it was already flattened. Tokyo was already flattened. It had been firebombed to fucking nothing.
And everything was built out of wood. The majority
Yeah,
of the stuff was
paper
all
and
wood frame.
bamboo and shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nagasaki nuclear bomb. This is Tokyo. Notice how there are still buildings standing. Some things are burnt down, other things aren't, because they carpet bomb. They just drop a bunch of bombs as they fly by. This is the aftermath of Hiroshima. So if there was actually a nuclear blast, wouldn't everything be completely obliterated? There would be nothing standing if atomic bombs actually exist. And the entire theory of an atomic bomb doesn't even scientifically make any sense. Do we have the power of God to change the fabric of reality? To split atoms? I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you split something that's never ever been seen? Right?
With a really small chisel and hammer. So
You're covered in atoms right now.
Oh, I know. I get them off me.
Oh my God, atoms! Oh my God.
Ken Rothman said that he met Eddie Murphy once. Nice guy.
that.
I don't. Does anybody know that he actually had a trainee prostitute killed so that nobody would find out about that he had relations with one?
Well, wait, I had heard that he'd been busted with a transvestite prostitute,
Right.
but I did not hear anything about killing them.
That person ended up missing. They mysteriously jumped off the top of the building. You know.
Seriously?
Well, I'll find the other thing about it. It's kind of long, but I'll put it in the.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that part neither.
Yeah, I didn't either till I watched this thing. Hang on a second, I'll find it.
Oh, you were going on about Cavendish earlier. I was busy getting off the bus and walking through the rain while you were talking about it. But any quasi experiment that takes more than 150 tries to get any kind of result out of it. And I've talked to college kids that isn't a force. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's this too. What is actually proven with the Cavendish experiment?
The mean density of the Earth was the.
But I mean, did they prove an attraction between objects, or did they just prove movement?
Yeah, but I mean, they're using a torsion bar too. So I mean,
they all they did was prove movement and then assume that it was an attraction. When everybody knows that in order to have any kind of a force necessary to move mass, there's going to be energy involved. So where does the mass get its energy to create a force, an attractive force? Where does it get that from? And why does it never run out?
It does.
It doesn't. None of it. That can't be reconciled.
No.
I put that link in back. I guess it's only 8 minutes, but I'll get it for the regular chat.
The other thing with it is I'm pretty sure there is a force to go with the weight that's put on the torsion bar that these balls sit on too.
Exactly. It proved movement. And of course it's going to go toward the other objects. It's on a pivot. It can only go toward the other object. It can't fucking move in a linear fashion.
I wonder what Super Sidewinder's attractive force is.
well, if that's the case, then rain is going sideways.
Well, of
rain
course.
is going horizontal on the. If you were standing at the north or standing at the south, and that means rain's actually falling down towards the ground sideways. Yeah.
Did you say down? Did you say down? Yeah, down. Yeah.
Yeah, I say up and down because it
Yeah,
cuts them off.
So down follows you. It does.
I'm being followed by a down shadow. Here's some lovely Israeli terrorists abroad in a restaurant. Listen, people are sick of their fucking bullshit, man. This is great. And then I got your one that you just put in there.
Jew hater. Anti-Semitic. I'm very proud of that.
You're proud of what? You're a Jew hater. 2,000 years of persecution over here. You're a terror supporter.
So it's all right off the bat calling the fucking person who's either it's their business or the employee that they're a Jew hater, and then start victimizing with the 2,000 years of oppression and shit. I'd be like, you're 2,000 years old?
Wow.
Look at that mask.
That was kind of whatever it is.
Is that what that is? Is it a mask?
Terror supporter. That's what you are. 2,000 years of persecution, not enough for you.
2,000 years of persecution.
Zionists, go to our Jewish land. Terror supporter. Anti-Semitic you are. Anti-Semitic. Look at you.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid.
We are not afraid.
We are not afraid of people like you, terror supporter.
We are not afraid of you. We are not afraid.
You worship Maria and Jesus who were Jews.
You weren't going to get nothing for a tip. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah.
All the time, right? They were born and died as a Jew.
Anna, you can go. You can go ahead. I don't want your money, please.
No problem. We will not pay. No problem. If you don't want my money.
That are not welcome here. 60,000 people killed.
Terror supporter over here. Terror supporter. That's what you are.
It's okay.
2,000 years of persecution over here of Jews. Anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic. That is what you are, anti-Semitic.
No, you are saying all the same.
Anti-Semitic. I'm not losing. Whatever you are is because of us, of our culture.
We are not losing, we are winning.
She got that right. Whatever you are, it's because of our culture. Yes. 100%.
Yeah. That right.
Where do they get the 2,000 years of persecution from? That what they earmarked Christ after they killed him? So here's 2,000 years of terrorism for you.
It's just victimhood. That's all. That's how those people live. That's their excuse for everything that they do. They just turn around and flip.
I wonder how it even got to that point.
What, you don't want my money?
No, just get the fuck out of here. Just get out of here before you lay an egg or something in here.
One of the biggest and definitely strangest scandals in Hollywood history happened when Eddie Murphy's car was stopped by police and he was found with a transsexual prostitute inside. The official story of what went down that night is strange enough, but there is also way more to the story, including a Hollywood fixer who may have saved Murphy's career and a very suspicious death that many believe was murder. Eddie Murphy was the biggest movie star alive in the 1980s, but his career took a serious nosedive once the 90s arrived. But then he started releasing family comedies like The Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. They were smash hits, and his career was seemingly revitalized as a family-friendly movie star. Then May 2nd, 1997 happened. Murphy was out driving at 4:45 a.m. in a West Hollywood neighborhood known for transsexual prostitutes. And a trans prostitute named Addison Ciuli got into his Land Cruiser. Police stopped the car, interrogated Murphy, and arrested Ciuli because she had an outstanding warrant. Murphy wasn't charged with a crime, and he claimed he saw a woman out walking very late at night, decided to be a good Samaritan and offer her a ride home, and had no idea she was actually a trans prostitute. This Good Samaritan explanation was ridiculed and mocked, but Murphy claimed it was all just a big misunderstanding. But the controversy got more serious when tabloid newspapers came out with articles featuring other transsexual prostitutes who claimed they'd been with Murphy, and some went into graphic detail about what they'd done together. One trans sex worker named Summer St. Cerelli said that Murphy, quote, seems utterly obsessed with men dressed as women and the way they live.
Middle one looks like J-Lo.
Also had an interview with Addison Ciuli, who said, Eddie's claim that he was giving me a lift makes me laugh. I'm a transsexual hooker, and he knew that. The articles were a complete disaster for Murphy's new family-friendly image, and he filed separate $5 million lawsuits against the tabloids, alleging that the papers had printed false statements from the transsexual prostitutes. But the papers stood by their stories, and they prepared to defend them.
It's hang low. It's not J-Lo. It's hang low.
No doubt. Right?
Murphy's lawsuit. And then Murphy found an unlikely ally who just might have saved him. He was a mysterious Hollywood fixer who was once one of the biggest gay porn stars in the industry, and he had a plan to save Eddie Murphy's reputation.
Sav, I didn't know you did magazines.
Yeah, that was me back in the day. Yeah, that was me. Hang on, let me get back here to this guy. Yeah, that guy right there. That was me back in the day. It's fun to stay at the Y. Let's do the strokey pokey. Let's all do the strokey pokey.
Oh, shoot.
We were going to watch that later when we get, we're building up to it. Look here. See? Come on.
Murphy's reputation.
Hey-o.
Hello.
In 2001, a man named Paul Baresi talked about his involvement in the Eddie Murphy transsexual scandal for an article titled The Bagman, which appeared in the New Times LA and was awarded runner-up for Best Hard News Story at the LA Press Club Awards. And his account of the Eddie Murphy controversy is absolutely wild. So first off, Paul Baresi is a really mysterious Hollywood figure who was a popular gay porn star in the 1980s. He also acted in a few mainstream movies, including Perfect with John Travolta in 1983, and he made headlines when he claimed he'd had sex with Travolta dozens of times. A claim
Yes, I have said Travolta's a fag for a long time.
See, everybody always thought those Inquirer stories were bullshit, but then you look back on them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. So Rush Limbaugh did meet with aliens.
He did. Yeah. He did. I know that for a fact. I remember he had him on his show.
He later took back. After his porn career, Baresi became a sort of shadowy underground private investigator / fixer in Hollywood who celebrities hired when they had a problem to take care of. And over the years, he's worked on behalf of stars like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Tom Cruise. The details of what exactly he did for these celebrities are a little murky. Baresi claims he would do things that ranged from investigative work to intimidation.
Cover up
these high-powered people came to me to solve some of these problems, Baresi said. The legal way didn't work, so they had to resort to desperate measures that go against what's considered morally correct or politically correct. And that's where I came in. When asked if he ever got violent, Baresi said, "You trying to get me arrested? I'm not going to answer that question. The key is knowing how far you can go without going too far."
Yep.
Baresi claimed that after reading about the Eddie Murphy scandal, he contacted Murphy's lawyer, Marty Mad Dog Singer, with a plan to save Eddie Murphy. Baresi would find the trans sex workers who'd talked to the tabloids by using his contacts in the porn world, then persuade them to say they were lying about their relationship with Murphy, which would ruin the credibility of the tabloid articles. Baresi said, "My role was pretty much to neutralize the transsexuals." Baresi first tracked down a transsexual ex-dominatrix named Colonel Candy, who was considered a, quote, den mother for transsexual prostitutes. Candy had been heavily quoted in the tabloid stories about Murphy. Her friends had been telling her for years about Murphy's fetish for transsexuals, and she'd heard so many stories that she was writing a book titled In the Closet with Eddie Murphy. Baresi claimed he offered Candy $15,000 to give a sworn statement that the stories she'd told the tabloids about Murphy were lies. And an IRS document she provided confirmed she'd been paid $15,000 by Singer's law firm. She openly confessed that she'd changed her story simply for the money. "We were telling lies because they were giving me $15,000, she said. "I never had that much money together at one time." Baresi found 2 more transsexuals who'd talked to the tabloids. They too were paid to say they'd lied about their relationships with Murphy, even though they both later admitted they'd retracted their stories because they were paid off. I needed the money, one said. When someone gives you $2,500 to say you don't know someone, you just think about the money. Baresi freely admitted that he was paying the prostitutes to change their stories about Murphy. Sure, it was a payoff, he said. Baresi also knew of an Eddie Murphy lookalike whose resemblance to Murphy was so striking that he made a living of getting free meals, concert tickets, and hotel stays by impersonating Murphy. At Baresi's urging, many of the transsexuals swore under oath that it was the Murphy imposter they'd been with, not Murphy himself. They paid us to say it was an Eddie Murphy imposter, a trans sex worker named Valerie Gale said. I dated the man 3 different times, and I don't date imposters, honey. First time he came up in a cream-colored Rolls. He came up to our apartment, and we got busy. It was definitely Eddie Murphy. But throughout all the payoffs and sworn statements and changing stories, there was one who refused the money. Addison Ciuli, the transsexual who Murphy picked up, had turned into a minor celebrity and was prominently featured in the tabloid articles. She was offered $10,000 by Baresi to stop speaking about Murphy, but she turned it down. And her story does not have a happy ending.
Oh, man.
Roughly a year after her fling with Eddie Murphy, Ciuli's dead body was found on the pavement outside of her apartment. The official story was that she'd worked at a club until 4 a.m. and had locked herself out of her apartment. She tried to access a window to her 5th-story apartment by climbing to the roof and lowering herself to the window, but she fell to the pavement. But many don't buy that explanation at all. Many believe she was murdered. Friends of Ciuli stated that she'd been threatened after her encounter with Murphy, warnings that she, quote, keep her mouth shut. Her brother David told Globe magazine that Ciuli became paranoid and feared a hitman was following her. Colonel Candy set up a tribute site after Ciuli's death and claimed that she was murdered. Years later, a filmmaker was making a documentary on Ciuli and talked to a woman who'd been a tenant in her building. The woman told him that she'd heard a scream on the night Ciuli died, then she walked out of her door and saw a man in all black exiting Ciuli's apartment. Still, the official story is that Ciuli fell to her death and no foul play was involved. There were rumors she was writing a tell-all book and preparing to file a $1.2 million lawsuit against Murphy at the time, but this was never confirmed. And the final curious thing happened when Murphy abruptly dropped the lawsuits he'd filed against the tabloids. Nearly every sex worker interviewed for the Murphy stories had given a sworn statement saying they'd lied to the tabloids, which seemingly made winning the $5 million defamation cases a slam dunk. Instead, Murphy dropped the lawsuits, and even more strangely, he agreed to pay the tabloids legal fees, which very rarely happens in legal battles like these. The Enquirer's attorney Gerson Zweefox said, you can't win bigger than that when you're defending against a lawsuit. To have the other guy agree to go away and pay your legal fees, it's a happy day in the tabloid wars. It's possible Murphy dropped the lawsuits because he just wanted the controversy to disappear, but it's also been speculated that the tabloids had found other transsexuals who weren't paid off who could have come forward during the trial. At any rate, the scandal mostly went away after Murphy dropped the lawsuits and Ciuli died. It's definitely one of the stranger Hollywood stories out there, and it's a very interesting glimpse into how a major celebrity scandal was taken care of behind the scenes. And of course, some believe there is much more to the story of what happened the night Ciuli died.
Well,
that's kind of
I don't think he had her killed. It sounds plausible that she locked herself out and tried to get in the window and fell.
Sure.
I always climb to the 5th floor.
And climb down. Yeah.
Yeah, always. I mean,
I've done shit like that though. I really have. I mean, you have to go in through someplace up high like that, and do some kind of crazy. I wouldn't do it now, I know, but of course, I don't know what your mind's like if you're a transvestite. Anyways, there's already some kind of weird shit going on with your mind, So I don't know. I guess it's up to the individual. Perhaps they did have her killed. I don't know.
I can't believe it. The biker from the Village People killed that poor lady.
Yeah, that's who I think that was. He did look like it. He did look like the biker from the Village People.
He looked like a roided up Burt Reynolds.
Roided up Burt Reynolds. Okay.
Roy Reynolds.
Crazy.
Turd Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here you go. Here's a nice thought. This is great. You guys have got to love these people. Here's the Chosenites.
Because the most powerful nations in the world have to go down to their knees. That's what happened to Egypt. That's what's going to happen to America. That's what's going to happen to Germany. That's what's going to happen to France. That's what's going to happen to London. England's going to happen to Poland. That's what's going to happen to Russia. That's what's going to happen to China. But we're almost there, guys. It's happening. This is it. They're all going to go down to their knees, especially the Western ones. They're going to go down hard for how they treated us over the last 2,000 years. For the destruction of the Second Temple and how they treated us, Hashem's going to take them down hard. Because the reason God's doing this is for his name in this world.
No,
Okay.
more like you're creating the scenario so that you can rule. That's all it is.
I know Jews are never been known to be greedy or anything.
Oh, no, of course not. Can't you tell?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck? This has got to be AI. Okay, Dan Bilzerian just put this out an hour ago. He said Bill Maher came out of nowhere and endorsed me for Congress.
I told you, man, that guy's, I don't know.
Come on, man. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. That's what it's for, too. But let's see. Is this for real?
Why is it the dream of Dan Bilzerian, who's running as a Republican to win a House seat in Florida? Who's Dan Bilzerian? Well, he's a professional douchebag who's attracted 30 million followers by doing this all day and posting it. Yes, he'll fit in fine with the current Congress. And Dan is fairly typical of the guys in the manosphere when he says, the only real battle in the world today that I see worth fighting is fucking, exterminating Israel. I mean, I would sign up tomorrow to go fucking put boots on the ground and go fucking kill Israelis. Why? Why is this asshole's life about two things? Getting more Viagra and exterminating the Jews. Now, there are absolutely horrible things said about Muslims, too. That should also be, of course, roundly condemned, like Republican Congressman Randy Fine saying, if they force us to choose, the choice between dogs and Muslims is not a difficult one. That's awful. But it's not the same as they need to be nuked. And let's exterminate them.
A few moments later.
He said there is no, this is Representative Randy Fine put this out right afterwards. There is no suffering adequate for these animals. May the streets of Gaza overflow with blood. Right.
I don't vote for the Playboy or vote for the Semite. I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't vote. Why would you vote?
Do you know what
who are these guys do you want to vote for? I don't want to vote for anybody.
Do you know what the name of Bill Maher's production company is?
No. Sure.
You can look it up. It's called Kid Love Productions.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's kind of
gotta love it. That little furry boy.
Oh, Jesus.
It's another one. Chalk them up.
They're all like that, aren't they?
Bunny gonna shut you down.
It is really. Look at his IMDb if you don't believe me.
Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. This is fucking crazy. You guys want to see the ultimate dragster? I gotta show this. How can I get this to Mike? He doesn't have X. He's a he drag races. He would love to see this. Check this out.
We got a dirt track right up the road there going on.
Oh, I've seen the wheelie bus.
Cool bus. That was fucking badass, dude. That was totally badass.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to keep that thing from going all over the place. That's kind of impressive.
I've seen them up close. The Little Red Wagon in the I think it's the 80s. They made a rerun where they did like the Night of Fire with Top Fuel Drags. It's funny because they did the wheel standers. And yeah, I got to look inside, and they have double brakes. Each wheel has a brake.
Yeah.
When the thing tilts up, Cubby, they're looking through a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they can steer it. He can just hand throttle it and just hit the brake, and all it does is just tilt the rear end around a little bit so he can steer that thing down the
Yeah.
strip. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they got him. It's over,
Well,
guys.
that's it. So I was done.
We gotta wrap it
Sorry.
up.
I got him.
This is it. This is the big one.
Yeah, Bill Maher claims to be an Irish Catholic descent. I was reading his biography.
We're here with Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like who would even name their stuff like that? Kid Love Productions. That's crazy.
I know, it's kind of
like
creepy.
this right in your face. But yeah, I used to. What was that show? I used to watch that drag racing show. I know show, but Street Outlaws. I want to say where they had like that farm truck and all that.
Yeah. I've been to drag racing was kind of my thing. They got drag. They have a drag. What do you call it in southeastern New Hampshire?
They got a drag strip. I think it's like I don't know, probably about a half hour, 40 minutes away from me in Cordova by the power plant. It's pretty. They usually do quite a bit of stuff. Have quite a few events out there. There's a dirt track. There's a dirt track. Until the freaking sun goes down, they're making all kinds of noise just up the road from me. Usually,
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I was on TV once at the drag racing track in Akron, New Jersey. I still have the tickets. My cousin was doing some photo stuff for, said, hey, can you hold it just, as I move, just hold this piece of plexiglass so all the, rubber doesn't get spit all over the camera. So I had to me and him had to practice on how we have to do it every single time. And I was wearing a particular type of shirt, and I'm telling my friend that, listen, if you I might be on TV, you never know. And I guess he went and watched it, and there was a couple shots where they had this robotic camera arm that came down over the starting line for a couple of seconds. And there I was holding a piece of plexiglass. And he was like, I saw you wearing that freaky shirt. And I was like, I said, that's the reason I wore it, because I knew it would stick out like a sore thumb. But I got mad. I had to go to the hospital when I got home because I had such bad sunburn.
Oh, I bet being out there on that track all day.
Oh my God, dude, it was 100. I mean, it was 90. It was in June, so it was summer in New Jersey. And I'm standing on hot pavement next to cars. Oh, dude, it was horrible. I had crazy sunburn. I had to go to the hospital. Bad. But back
93 million miles away worth.
Oh, it was great though. I mean,
what I was saying when I bloofed out, because you remember them things that were kind of like a big wheel, but they were called a green machine.
Yeah, I had one, and I almost killed myself on it.
Yeah, those steered with the back.
Yeah, with the things.
Yeah. It had little things that you pushed forward and back.
Yeah.
It was rear steer. You could adjust those too, and take the rods out and move them out. It had holes that went out towards the outsides of the wheels so that you could get that thing going good, and then you could spin that thing around. And it would
do like a 360 almost, or a 180.
Yeah, more kids almost died on that thing.
Oh God, I could imagine.
Yeah, I went down a hill on it, almost killed myself.
I've had this right here, this same experience. Wait, I got to do it right again. I forgot I lost everything. Man, it was a piss off. It just went, I knew it was going to go blank. There it went. Shoom. It was crazy. Anyway. Did you hear me say, oh shit?
Yeah, no, he just kind of went, or at least I didn't.
That was crazy. I've had this experience right here with the fucking surveillance camera. I've caught one of the dogs trying to get something off the counter, and I got an intercom on mine. Where, what do you think you're doing? And they just freeze. They just freeze. Like, I wasn't doing nothing. Watch this guy. Fucking busted.
But they never put it back, do they?
He can't. His instincts won't let him put it back. But he's side-eyeing the old guy. He's side-eyeing him to see if it's coming toward him, you know.
Mm.
That's funny. I get that side-eye. It cracks me up. Oh, here's Ladybug.
Oh, great. Talk about transvestites.
Yeah, right? He's such a sweet man. So nice. Listen, he's an angry little faggot. He really is.
Top of the list.
So you're calling for strikes on the energy infrastructure, Senator?
I'm calling to hurt this regime. If you do the same old thing, you're going to get the same results. Hurt them more. Maybe they'll make a deal if you hurt them enough. But right now, I think they're trying to wait us out. I think they're playing games. And in the words of the president, I think they're crazy. I think he's right.
Senator, the goal of...
So, wait a second. I thought we won.
I thought it was over and we destroyed
Yeah,
it.
we obliterated their military and their navies all at the bottom of the ocean. And what the fuck's going on here, man?
Well, stop. Haven't you noticed they never lie about anything?
No. They would never do
Destroy
such a thing.
80% of their fucking missile capabilities and every other such thing, man. What's going on?
They're launching falafel bombs.
Yeah, right? Matzo balls.
Matzo balls and falafel bombs. Yeah.
Non. That's India, I guess.
Crazy,
Pakistan.
Non-bread.
Yeah.
God. What is this? New Indian inventions to save Indian lives? Poop World Order. This is from?
Poop World Order, it actually says it.
Oh, God.
It was Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia, right? And I guess so they had, you know how they use the initials for sports teams when they're showing the score above. Well, they dubbed it the poop game because it was P on one side, it was 0-0, and then P on the other side. So it was the poop the poop game of the year.
Don't forget, what is it that the chemical you put in your tank that cleans it for you? 2,000 flushes. That's it.
Oh, I didn't know which one. If you're talking about gas tank or toilet.
Toilet, yeah. It's a bowl, right? The poop bowl.
Yeah. 2,000 flushes. You only get like 2 out of it.
It turns the water blue.
Where's the rest of the zeros at?
Oh, that's what Trump needs to put in the mirror, or the pool. 2,000 flushes. It'll reflect blue.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I mean, really, if you wanted it to be blue, couldn't you have just put blue dye in the water? You know,
would have made sense.
This guy, he's making some money off of this somehow. He's laundering money through this whole fucking project. You can guarantee that.
Yeah, but you say you didn't know the contractors. He didn't work with them, but before he did work with them, it's a friend of his. Like, which one is it, dude? Somebody you did work with or somebody you don't know? Whenever it's failed, he doesn't know.
Whatever suits him at the time to say, that's what he'll say. Whatever suits him at the time, whatever he's got to say to just get through and not talk to the person anymore. That's what he said. That's what I said. He just says shit.
Anything to get him out of trouble. Yeah.
This one was done in Minecraft because people were kind of, we're getting a little Legoed out here. So I guess they did a Minecraft one.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah, see? You're going to love it. Watch.
Miraculous sand, where the cyber-chicked camels roam, where the poetry gleams with pretentious extremes, and a glass-plated burge is home, where my brothers and cousins control every throne. We don't build, we just buy every cloud in the sky to fuel our monarchical machine. When the fleets from the west come to blow up the rest, just look up at the sky. Habibi, come to Dubai, to another Arabian lie. Arabian lies, Arabian dreams. We bought the World Cup and the best football teams to bolster our schemes. These Arabian lies, these Arabian dunes, a brand new Islam where we sanction the bomb to the tune of our family spoons. We gave oil to the powers, built glittering towers, and mimicked the European style. We gave swords to old Trump, now we're stuck in a slump while we fake a luxurious smile. We were meant to be hubs for the new AI tech, but investors took off on the run. Cause the missiles flew past, and that peace didn't last. And Dubai is a joke in the sun. Now the oil doesn't sell and it's all gone to hell. Should we pay off Iran on the sly? Watch our safety and care vanish poof in the air. Just another Arabian lie. Arabian lies, Arabian dreams. The night is aglow with the missiles' red beams. How brightly it gleams. Arabian lies, a new tourist tour. Come watch the debris for a nominal fee. Since our oil isn't selling no more. Since our oil isn't selling no
What?
You're an equal opportunity hater there, son.
Well, it's showing that the UAE is just propped up by bullshit, see? And now that because of all this conflict from the West, all their riches are going away, see? They don't have anything. They don't really have anything of their own. They never built anything of their own. They relied on the West, and now they're turning into shit, you see?
I get it, yeah.
Man.
Roblox would be more accurate because that's where they that's the platform they use to snatch up little kids.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that stuff looks like.
I have no idea either.
I know I put in the Fortnite I said was next, but when they do those stupid little TikTok dances or whatever.
So
oh yeah, those are coming. Those are coming. They're going to have to. You know, there's a good pandemic coming because if you know any nurses, they've been practicing their dance routines for TikTok for the new. What is the shit that we're supposed to be afraid of now? Hantavirus?
Hanta.
Oh no, wait, there's another one now. The ticks.
Already? Holy crap.
Oh wow.
Yeah, everybody's getting
what, the Lone Star ticks?
Yeah, the Lone Star ticks, and they're getting this fucking disease where they can't eat meat and shit.
Watch out, Fuzzy. You're down in Texas, right?
Yeah. What if you eat ticks? Can you build up an immunity to them?
I don't know how you would, but I don't know why you need to.
I had, when I was younger, I had one embedded in me pretty good. But
did you get Lyme disease? No.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What in the fuck?
Would you really know it if you had it? If somebody didn't tell you you had it? If you didn't go to the doctor, would you even know you had Lyme disease?
Well, I'm sure they love to diaggnose you with something like that. That way you can
would you not be able to eat limes anymore or drink lime juice or anything?
Oh God. Why do I think this is
no key lime pie for you?
No key lime pie, no Mexican food with no more margaritas.
Nope.
Okay, so this all it said was this escalated quickly. Are these people going to get wiped out by the jet blast?
They will.
You know, you hit that extra hard too.
Yeah, I would.
Look at that shit blowing all this stuff.
I ain't seen no tops go yet. What the heck?
I know.
Why are you still standing there?
Someone got pushed into the ocean. Here go the rest of them. Because they're gloating.
Holy shit. Look at all the people stuff. Oh my.
You just proved how stupid you really are.
Yep.
Wow.
And let's do it with no t-shirts on too, so that way it spits every rock and speck of dust to shoot at you like it's great. Breathe all the jet fumes in.
Oh, it's an experience you can put on TikTok or
Not much
Facebook.
worse.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that later.
Not much worse than anything else we're breathing in these days.
Nope.
No.
But why would they do that? Why would they spread the chemtrails when they're literally spraying on them themselves too? Maybe because they don't go outside very much.
No. They don't want us going outside either.
And they take vacations outside of the world where we are. Those people got money. They got proper health care. They don't have to worry about
Is there such a thing as proper
Yeah, I
healthcare?
don't know. That's a good question.
If you do it yourself, it can be proper healthcare. But to go to a actual facility is another story.
I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm gonna go.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to shut her down myself, man. 3
Getting
hours.
tired.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start one.
I'm going to go in here and take some more of my turmeric and my whatever that inflammation shit I'm using.
Ginger?
Yeah, something. I don't know. It's in a capsule. Some kind of herbs and shit seems to be doing the trick. Throughout the day, you know, I can feel it starting to hurt a bit the more I use it and shit. But when I mean, it's my hip's getting better. It's a slow process, man. I think actually, given from what I understand about hip injuries, that I'm actually getting better a lot faster than a lot of people do.
You gotta do goat yoga and Pilates.
There you go.
Dude, I've been doing some really serious stretching, like
Stretching.
sitting with my legs crossed and then just cross one leg. And what I do when I do that is then I bend over as far close as I can, put my face as close to the floor as I possibly can. And you can really feel it stretching in there. It's just like right up in the groin and like totally diagonal opposite on the back side of the hip is where I get these. It's just got to build up. I think it's like a sprain in both of those areas or something. It's just got to take some time to heal.
What I use for an anti-inflammatory salve, I have a mother aloe vera. I take parts of the heart and I'll apply it to the area. It does work. I had an abscess. It was huge. And instead of running off to the dentist, I just I would rinse my mouth with sea salt, and then I would apply the aloe vera and within 2 days, gone completely. Never had any of the problems with it at all, ever.
You can use cloves too. They got like a numbing, like in a pinch, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't use it long term or anything, but they got like a numbing effect if you got like a problem with the tooth or something.
Problems with dental stuff after I went to the dentist in Tijuana and they pulled all my wisdom teeth out. And like then I started developing a lot of issues with my teeth. They're like,
They should have give you the. Surprised they didn't give you the good stuff down there.
I got surgery coming up in 4 or 5 months, so I'm not gonna. The early part of the winter, I'm not gonna be around for a while.
What are you having done, if you don't mind?
They're taking out I got a metal strap on the roof of my mouth.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Or on the sides. I had an accident when I was a kid, and that strap, I have to. They have to take my teeth out, and the strap has been in there for she's 14, 15.
Oh shit.
So they have to take the teeth out. They have to. I'm not going to get graphic, but it's graphic.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to cut it and then pull the screws out, take that piece out, and then they're going to have to pull all the teeth out. So
that don't sound like any fun.
It's not going to be fun at all. But It's got to get done. I've been putting it off for a while. And what happens is every time I talk, I got a little bit of a lisp.
Mhm.
And it's because my tongue hits that thing every time I speak for the last 30 years. And it's getting annoying because I keep hitting it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it. And those teeth, like some of them are caps, some of them are, like I can't get anything in there, even a denture. Like I used to have a clip in, but the clip in broke in my mouth. I was eating something and it broke and it cut the roof of my mouth and gave me an infection. This was a while ago. So they yanked a couple of teeth out and then said, "Oh wow, you got something in there." And I was like, "You guys took X-rays. You can see the giant metal strap that's in there." And the guy was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "He's like, I don't think you even need that." And I'm like, "Probably don't. I just don't want to go to the dentist, get it taken out."
Yeah.
But it's gonna be ugly, and it's gonna be for probably, months and months. So the winter time, I don't think I'm gonna be around in the early winter much. I mean, I'll be in chat. I'm just not gonna talk because I'm gonna sound weird,
Right.
until all that stuff's taken care of. And I went and priced out how much it would cost to get the, the full like screw in. What do you call it? Like implant.
You're talking veneers.
Oh, it was $67,000 was the quote I got.
God almighty.
67 grand to do my whole mouth, top and bottom.
Rhonda got hers done for like $5,000 back in the 80s, man.
Well, these are those like Nuvia, where they drill down and they put studs in, and then the whole plate piece is made so it goes right in. So it just looks like, 100%, but it's $67,000.
Wow.
That's how much money it costs.
Must be space material.
Yeah, it's some
NASA
insane
grade.
shit that they can't break. And but yeah, that strap's got to come out, and it's gonna be ugly. I'm probably gonna be under, definitely.
No, for sure.
Take that out, and then I'm gonna wake up with half my teeth gone because they said they could only do one side at a time because I'm gonna need one side to chew. Food is gonna be
I had all mine
interesting,
took out all at once. Well, I did. They took out all mine at once, and I had a set of temporary dentures that I used, and then after like 6 months, then I went and got my permanent dentures.
Yeah, that's probably what the road's gonna be, but they're gonna have to do a little, a little pulling all that stuff out, which is gonna be ugly. So early winter, don't expect me to be around. I'll be in chat. I'm just not gonna be talking much, unless I can make an AI version of myself that text the chat.
Maybe we can help
Maybe
you
by
with
then.
that, man.
I'll translate it.
You'll have to reprogram the whole thing, man.
It'd be like Stephen Hawking's. Have to get you an interpreter.
Yeah. Like, he said that space is all infinite. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it's gonna be ugly. So this winter's not gonna be a fun winter. I should have did it this past year, but we had a bunch of crap going on. A bunch of people got sick, and a few people in my family died, and it was just all kinds of crap going on in the past 2 years.
Oh, ZXL Master's mom passed away.
I saw that. I saw the post.
Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that, dude.
Yeah, sorry to hear, man.
Well, I don't think my mother's that long for this world neither. At 76, and she's already had a couple of things removed from her body and a couple of surgeries on her hip and stuff.
Yeah, my mom and dad both made it to 90. I took care of mom and dad. No regrets on that. Brought me in the world.
I did that for years with my mom when she got cancer the first time.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming up here tonight.
Good to see everybody.
Everybody that showed up in the chat, we had a good amount of people on here tonight. That's good.
You had almost 300 at one time, dude.
Like and share and subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. Subscribe to my backup channel as well. And over on Rumble, I'm going to do a movie again here. So we're going to have to go over to Rumble to do it because YouTube doesn't let us do it.
You got one picked out?
Not yet. I've got a couple ideas, but we'll see what
Is
happens.
there anything more appropriate than the one you were in? I just thought of that and I didn't say anything.
What, Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we could do that. That might be fun. That might be fun.
A couple people in the chat were saying that you should do that for a movie night, man.
That would be pretty fun. Yeah.
Rubber
It's like you don't really
Rubber.
see me, like where you can go, oh yeah, I didn't know that I did this one. Well, there's one where you can kind of see, and it's
Well, you can pause it in dialogue for us.
I'm wearing a broad brim hat, and it's like from an angle, and you see me. I'm coming like up through the forest, going up Little Round Top, and there's an explosion, and you see like I go flying forward, but you don't like see it from front on. You're seeing it from like this angle over here to the right. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. I want to see if I can. I really want to go over Free Guy.
Oh yeah.
Because people like the Truman Show, and I think that's another kind of a eye opener to that too. But then there's a little bit more when you really look into the whole story itself. It really matches another story that we all know real well.
Yeah. Another good one is Ex Machina, but people can go watch that if they want. But I know Buzzy don't like movies at all, but whatever. For those that do.
For you, Buzzy. Yeah.
Holly weird.
I was watching old Doctor Who today.
I never watched that.
Well, like the 80s with the original Doctor?
The second one.
The second one's the best
but
one,
the
yeah.
second guy. So the 60s, early 70s maybe. And yeah, I like Doctor Who. It was really good. I grew up watching that covey. It's ridiculous, but it's ridiculous.
Oh, I had friends that loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know, for whatever reason, never watched one.
It's goofy and great at the same time.
How'd they fit the TARDIS in that little box? Man?
I know.
Yeah, I had a buddy that was like infatuated with it. Like he'd go to because they do Comic-Cons for Doctor Who, I think too, and he went dressed up as whatever the character is.
I like the early ones. The one I grew up with was the one Tom Baker. It's the one
Tom
in the
Baker's
late
one of the
70s, mid 70s. Yeah.
He also played in some of the Narnia movies that the BBC did too. He played Puddle Glum. Weird, dude. You ever seen any of the Narnia characters that are like not the main ones, but they actually made a whole series on the BBC with all the characters in it.
He's a strange guy even in real life. When you watch interviews with him, he's weird, dude.
Really?
Yeah, he's weird, dude. The way he talks and his mannerism stuff, he's just strange. Like kind of like a Mr. Rogers type, the way he talks and stuff. It's really weird. You should show Rubber.
Rubber, oh my god.
That'd be rough.
That movie is just so fucking dumb. It's funny. It just really is. It's funny as shit.
It's kind of like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, if you remember how stupid that was.
Oh God, I think I'd rather watch that.
I got
way to be stupid.
Is Rubber longer than an hour's worth of a movie?
Probably not much more.
How do they get a tire 2 hours worth of a movie?
Check it out.
Things you need to check it out, man. That's the whole thing. Is you got to understand you have to understand what's going on with Robert the tire. That's his name, by the way. It's Robert. Yeah.
I've seen what you put on here about it. You did like the trailer for it. You walked me through the premise of it, like that.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. It really is. Stunning cast.
Personality and everything, dude.
Oh yeah, it's hot. You definitely.
Well,
if you haven't seen it,
thank you for having me up.
Yeah, right on,
Yes.
man. Anytime. It's we look forward to it, man. Everybody does, and we look forward to Cubby coming up here and Roger, the regular gang of people.
The old gang. Yeah.
The regular cast.
Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four, sometimes five. We
To the Hall of Justice.
Yeah,
we got it all
later at the Hall of Justice. Guys, I'm going to get off here because I'm going to look up that movie on the TV and see if I can find The Apprentice. Somebody said it was on Tubi, huh?
Oh, yeah. Somebody did in the chat said that.
Yeah. I'll check and see if I can find it. All right, guys. Everybody, thanks for coming up tonight. Everybody that showed up in the chat. Don't forget, Lord loves a working man. Don't never, ever, ever trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably kill you. And
It's better to shit in the sink than it is to sink in the shit. We'll see you next time. Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.